What's going on, Raidernation? It's your boy Mike here, Raider. You guys know I like to go live before I go live to check the status of the technology and the equipment. Make sure you guys can hear me, see me, and everything appears to be hopefully working properly. Please let me know in the chat room, you know, what's going on because I can't open up all these other different screens. But for now, you guys know I like to go live for a little pre-cum show. I'm sorry, a pre-show. And see who's online. Give a shout out where it's needed. Then we start the official show. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to the earliest Raider, Rebel Raider, who shouted out in the chat room about 20, 30 minutes ago. Once I presented that we're going to go live. There he is. Rebel Raider, I see him up on screen again. Said, wake up, everyone. It's time for the show. We hear you, Mikey. Arkham Raider. Look at the green screen behind me. Look at all that weird, bad graphic capability on the live stream. What's up, Arkham Raider? Richard Lyon. My boy Miguel Mejorado. So thank you guys for tuning in to this late night broadcast, but I had to go live. I had to. I've been messed up the last couple of days, guys, really badly. Triggered, negative, and I'm struggling. So I needed tonight's therapy session. But I needed to talk about my team. I mean, if I can call them my team, we got other people saying because I'm negative at the outcome that I can't call them my Raiders and that I'm not a real Raider. And all that other stuff that for some damn reason really bothers me because of all the sweat and tears and blood and effort and stuff that I put in for the Raiders. We'll get into that a lot more in tonight's show in a couple of more minutes when we officially start it. I just wanted to say hello to Gilbert. Crazy G Loco Castillo is online. Arkham Raider, Frost WSA, my peoples I love. Do me a favor, guys. Consider donating, super chatting. It helps me out, helps me get me positive, helps me pay my bills, buy some damn tacos, and hopefully afford NFL Sunday ticket. Become a member as well. That helps support me as well. But I don't even know if I could afford an NFL Sunday ticket to watch my Raiders this year. I don't know. So hit that like, that subscribe, consider donating, becoming a member, super chatting. If you got it, if you don't, I understand, and I love you. Oh, I think we just got a super chat. Whoops, sorry about that. Silos, I love your avatar. Is that a Muppet? What is that? What is it? Is that a Muppet? I love it. Thank you, man. Silos 123. You 123. Silos paid me, supported me. He's a part of the Raider family with a knick-knack, paddywhack. Give Mikey Raider a bone. I love you, Silos. Thank you for coming home. David Lucretia. Hi, brother Mike. Love you, Mikey. There you go. Silos is responding. And I'll try to interact with the audience as much as I can, guys, during the show. I promise I will. Let me go through a subject. Again, thank you, guys. Let me go through a subject, and then toward the end of it, I'll try to look at comments. So while I start a topic or a segment or a subject, and you want to ask questions or rebuttal or you want me to interact, again, I hate to be the idiot, but Super Chat always helps because it comes up bright with colors on my screen. But do it toward the end of the topic, and then we can discuss for a couple of more minutes after I talk about the topic, to continue the show moving forward. Since I don't have any guests right now, and I promise you guys, I'm going to have you guys as guests very much soon, very, very much soon on the actual live stream. Maybe the Raiders game versus the 49ers, I can do that. I hope I can. But I kind of want to watch the game and listen to it. And how would I listen to you guys if I don't have headphones? I don't know. We'll figure it out. That being said, Dizzy Gunner's online. Hey, handsome. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought it was a guy. I'm not gonna have a problem with it, Liz. But I was like, a guy's like, "Hey, handsome." I'm like, "Man, the bears are coming after me. Those damn bears." What's up, Liz? How you doing? Say hello to Nathan, man. I love you guys. Dionysus is online, and everybody, I appreciate you. That's right. Good morning. That's right. You are out of the country. All right. So I think we did enough BS talking for 5, 6 minutes. Let's get the show started somehow. How do I get it on? Thank you again, Silos. How do I get all this off screen and then get it to the intro? Okay. We're going to start the show in 10 seconds, guys, officially. And we got some good topics for you guys today. Stick around. Debunk me. I don't mind, but do it in an empathetic way. What's up, everybody? It's your guy, your boy, your OG Raider fan, Mikey Raider. I am now officially the Jaded Raider as of the history that I've been dealing with online on the X, the Twitters, and the legacy of the Raiders and the fandom and everything. I am jaded. So did that not make me Mikey Raider? It just makes me Mikey, the currently jaded Raider. I hope you guys appreciate that. That being said, this is Raider Football Talk, where hopefully each and every week, depending on my time frames, you guys know how to deal about that. We go live, we talk our Raiders, and we try to find excitement for the team. Where I hope you guys would call the Rants hotline, leave some messages, but nobody ain't doing that. Nobody likes me anymore. It's okay. I don't think I need headphones anymore because I'm not listening to anything. But nobody likes me anymore. It's okay. That being said, what are we going to talk about on today's show? Let's quickly show let's say hi to the fans that are officially online. Raider Critique, Arkham Raider, Dionysus Lawson, Frost WSA, Rebel Raider, Dizzy Gunner, Shilosh, David Lauricia, and Miguel Mijor Dorado, and anybody that I'm missing, chime in below. Hopefully I see your message. Gilbert, Crazy G Local Castillo is online, and I appreciate you guys, and I love y'all. Richard Lyons online, and everything. I will be interacting during the show, during the topics. But let's take a quick look at some of the topics to get you guys wet that we're going to talk about on today's show. Let's just see if we can do that. First off, we're going to talk. Are we excited? Are we excited yet? What's the fan divide? We're also going to go, man, Jimmy G versus Derek Carr. We're going to explain why it is now a forever topic. That's right. We're also going to talk about some major storylines, from my opinion, about the Raiders. Like, in camp, is Jimmy G the interception king? We're also going to discuss some, in my opinion, media lies, and we're going to debunk that Gruden told the defense to not intercept Derek Carr. That's a storyline, and a lot of people are believing it. We're going to debunk that. Also, we're going to have a storyline. Will Tyrese Wilson ever play for the Raiders? I mean, it's a couch, and you sit on the couch. I'm trying to do Seinfeld. Will Tyree Wilson ever play for the Raiders? And will he be in camp? Will he be on the field? And will he be recovered and healed? Will he be recovered and healed? We're going to get into that more on today's show. Plus, overall, we're going to talk the truth of the 2023 Raiders team. Again, from my perspective, maybe some of y'all agree, maybe you don't. It's okay. Every asshole has an opinion, and I'm one of them. So, we're going to talk the truth of the 2023 Raiders team, even each individual players and coach. I don't know what we're going to do. And we're also going to, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to share some tweets that triggered me because I went on a tweet run against people because they went against me, but I got triggered on the X. And I'm going to show them and I'm going to explain my thinking, and I'm probably going to debunk some of their stupid opinions. I'm going to try to, at least. Then we're going to have a Raiders versus 49 preseason game prediction and the storylines that are going to come from that game. That's right. I'm a guru. I'm a genius. I see the future very well. We are going to predict it. And we'll talk a little fantasy football if we got some time. I don't know. But that being said, let's watch another little intro because I like to do these intros. Then let's come back and let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started. Yeah. Stick around. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. All right, here we are. Hopefully everything's working. Got so many dang things on screen because I'm using the StreamYard instead of the other program I normally use. But here we are. Let's get the show started yet. Raider Football Talk with your host, Mikey the Jaded Raider. That's right. Let's get it started. Let me get the comments on screen, and let's just quickly jump into today's first topic. Are we excited yet? Are we excited yet? I'm asking for a friend. Are we excited yet, Raider Nation? Well, that's a topic that not a lot of people want to discuss and understand because a lot of us are not. A lot of us are. Sorry about the screen delays. You might be having major 2-second delays because I got a lot of things on screen, and I'll try to stop that and see if it corrects itself, but it may not during the entire show. So please bear with it as best as possible. But for now, I'll stop sharing a couple of the screens and see if it helps. Let me remove this from my screen. Let me see if it helps. All right, let's see if it catches back up. A lot of fan base is excited and wants to prove their excitement to the nation. A lot of people like me aren't that excited due to the circumstances that we see in front of us, and we can spell out the future and we can see the cake that they're building, and it's not a very good cake. So we tend to go online and vent our frustrations. At least I do. But then we get feedback and we get force-fed the ideology from the other Raider Nation that we have to be excited for the coaches, for the staff, for the players, for the team, for the outcome, and we have to be excited with a fervent passion for the team if we call ourselves a Raider fan. We are being force-fed negative comments if we explain our opinion and our truth. And the same could be said on their side. They explain their truth of how they're excited. They love McDaniels. They love Jimmy G. They're excited, whatever it is. Then people that are not excited and also, in my opinion, see the truth, we also give them negative feedback. I get that. It goes on both sides of the coin. I don't care if you're excited, but don't do it at the behest of former players, or don't call out my Raider fandom, or anybody's for that matter. We're going to go over some tweets where they call out Raider fandom. They, me, whoever, we're all creating a divide by this negativity. I don't know how to get rid of it because I don't consider it negativity. I just consider it my feelings toward the team and the organization. But whenever I speak about the truth or my feelings that I see, then I'm told I am wrong. I'm not a real Raider. I'm a stan, and I cannot root for another player. I have to live behind the shield and all this. I don't like having my fandom questioned. Then when I fight back, they say, well, why are you mad that we called you not a real Raider? If you were a real Raider, you would be secure in the statement that you are a real Raider. Therefore, you wouldn't get mad at the tweets or the negativity that we send your way. If you were a real Raider, you wouldn't get mad. The only reason you're getting mad is because you have doubts about your fandom. I don't have doubts about my fandom. I'm a Raider till I die. But at what cost? I will never jump ship. I will yell at my team. I will hate my team at times. I will yell and critique at the players. And I will do my damnedest to get rid of a coach or a GM that I cannot stand. And I will call out every move that they make while still loving this team. Can you guys accept that? Does that make me not a real Raider? Many of the people that have been through what I've been through for loving this team knows the pain that I have. A lot of you have the same exact pain. I get it. I get it. Why do we need more pain from the actual Raidernation fans on the opposite side? Why is it now a political republic of Raidernation? Why? I know many years ago we had people, on one side or the other that didn't agree with opinions or the other. I get it. But even in Twitter, in those days and online, it wasn't 50-50, where everybody is hating, saying personal insults, and just bringing down other Raider fans with their stats, their opinions, their deceit. It did not happen as big as it did nowadays. It did not happen that way many years ago. It happened, but not as big. Raider Nation was a family, but we are now a family divided. We are like political in every aspect in today's culture and world. So we got the Raiders that hate Derek Carr, want Derek Carr gone, are excited for the team. They are like, let's call them like the Democrats. They are like the left. They are the cancel culture. You're canceled if you say anything wrong against the team. You know. Then we got people like me that are jaded, that respect Carr, loved what he tried to bring to us. We're not excited about what McDaniels and the Patriots West are bringing to us and all the decisions, and we're voicing our opinion. And then they're trying to cancel us. Then they're trying to call us like non-Raider fans, get us to quit, get us to jump ship. So we're like the Republicans. It's like the left versus right. I'm freaking tired of it. Didn't your parents, whoever, the left, whether you're on the right or the left of this Raidernation political divide, again, for each and every one of you, even the ones that agree with me, you give, sometimes some of you give negative comments and stuff to the other Raiders, you know, in response to their tweets or Twitters or whatever. I get it. But for everybody, didn't your parents teach you better? If you don't have something nice to say to another person or about another person, I'm not talking about the team. You can give your opinions on a team or the situation all you want. But when responding to another person who posted their opinion, didn't your parents teach you, if you have nothing nice to say, or if you don't agree, or if you don't have anything nice to say, don't comment back. Just leave it alone, whether you agree or you don't. That's the problem with getting triggered. And I do it all the time. I mess up all the time. But I'm tired of this fan divide, and I don't see it getting better. And I don't like what I see from the team and from the fan base. And I know some of you are holding out, you know, that positivity. Every year's a new year. Every year's a new great thing. And just quickly, this is going to be the last I say about it, and I'm going to look at your comments. I love my team, but I hate my organization. Does that make sense? I love my team, but I hate my organization, the way it's being run, the decisions they're making and what they're doing. That's a statement that could also be coexist in the actual real world, the political world, where you say, I love America, but I hate my government. Because this divide in Raider Nation is also akin to what's happening in real life. When you speak out about the government or something different, they cancel you, they censor you, they come after you, and they try to get you away from that truth talk. That's what the Raider Nation is doing in this divide. Sometimes we tell the truth, they don't like it, so they tell us we're not a real Raider, to jump ship, because they don't want to see the truth of what's in front of their face. Not all the times we're right, but a lot of the times we have the third eye and they don't. And they don't think you can critique your own team while still liking them. They don't understand the split personality. But they enjoy the roller coaster ride every year of getting excited, being told stuff that eventually most of it becomes lies, then losing, then turmoil, then drama, then they release players, and then we're all sad and mad. Then again, they're excited again. I'm over it. If the motto is just win, baby, and that's what we live by, in all facets of the Raiders, we are not doing it. We are not doing it. So speak out, speak your truth, say what's on your mind. I appreciate you. I got your back, and get it frickin' done. And for my last segment before I get to your comments, Speaking of mottos, this is going to trigger a lot of people. The Raiders have a lot of mottos, pride and poise, commitment to excellence, just win, baby. And then another one of their monograms, or however you say it, or mottos, is the greatness of the Raiders lies within its future. All right, let's break down that statement real quick. The greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. When is the future? The future is in front of us. The future is technically not now because it's called the future. So by that motto statement and by what you guys keep telling me, Mikey Raider, get positive. The greatness of the Raiders is in its future. Well, I have to look at it as a critical thinker. And I have to take the word values as a lawyer and understand the words that are being spoken. The greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. We're never going to win. We're never going to be great. Why? Because the greatness lies in its future. And if that motto sticks around every time, the future will never become now because it's always called the future. People see that truth. People don't. I do. I do. That is the stupidest motto I've ever heard. I don't like it. But if you consider the future at one time will be called the future is now. When they're winning, they're going to a Super Bowl, then that's the future they were talking about. But the truth of that statement is it gives the Raider organization and the fans an excuse. Every year that we lose or have turmoil, it gives us an excuse to seek positivity in the future. Hey guys, don't relax. The greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. It gives us an excuse. And I don't want to live my life or love my football team by excuses. Of a brighter day to come. Why don't they make that their statement? There's a brighter day that will come. That's a statement I can get by. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little bit of lag, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm getting so much damn lag. Forgive me. Let me try to make my screen smaller and see if that helps with my graphics card. I don't know. Let's get into some of your comments on the divide. The future is not now because it's the future, Mikey Raider. Thank you, Truth Monster. You're seeing my point. Rebel Raiders. Josh McDaniels equals learn to win, baby. OG Skywatch. What's up, dude? Who cares? It's all about fantasy football, not teams. Yeah, that's a good statement, my brother. I could agree with that. The future looks grim. You wrote grimy, but you're right. Unfortunately, I hate that I could see the future, like Marty McFly. Oh, he wrote it. Pando Colima. Marty, get the DeLorean. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. Woo! We've had greatness in the past. That's a funny statement. You can go forwards or backwards with that statement. Classic statement, my dude. Good one. Good one. Thumbs up for that one. Absolutely agreed. Love them for the lore for the future. Again, it feels like an excuse every year, just like the press conferences. Remember, you guys didn't like the press conferences with Derek Carr saying the same things, or the coaches saying the same things. It's the same thing. The greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. Don't worry, next year is another year. Just really, really, really annoying. Sorry, guys, I'm getting so much delay. Mikey, we need a new Raider recipe. Maybe Mad Max wings. Yeah, that's funny because he's called the Condor. I love Mad Max. I love the guy to pieces, man. He's doing and saying all the right things, but he's on a crappy team. We are wasting his talent. 1000%. All right, guys, let's quickly go over some. Let's go to the next segment. Let me take, maybe I have too many things on screen. I don't know. Let's go to the next segment and then we'll get into some camp stuff. So here we go. This is a sensitive topic for many. But the Jimmy Garoppolo versus Derek Carr comparisons will be forever. At least until we win. But even if we win, it'll be until we get another franchise quarterback that's starting on our team and winning. But in general, let's be honest. The Jimmy G versus Derek Carr comparison will be a forever topic, even till the end of their careers. And whether they come back to the Raiders and retire a Raider, or he retires a 49er, or whatever the case may be, we got to stop letting this trigger us, myself included. Jimmy G versus Derek Carr is a forever topic. And people on the Jimmy G side are going to have some really good stats and facts to promote their quarterback. People on the Derek Carr side are going to have their facts to promote him. And again, you can't win. It's like the movie War Games. When we play global thermonuclear war, you can't win. The only winning strategy is not to play the game. So I am not going to play the game. Maybe for this show I will, but hopefully not others. But, let's be honest. If Derek Carr wins a bunch of games, I might be sarcastic and rub it in some fans' face, but I'll do it in direct messaging. People are literally telling me they love me, you're the OG, and now they're telling me that I should just be a Saints fan. Woo! That is how bad this is, man. Raul, what's up, dude? What's up, Arkham Raider? There's only one side, and that's the Raider side. So, I don't want to ask, does that mean you're against Derek? You're not going to root for him? I don't think there's anything wrong with people rooting on Derek Carr to have a good future. But if you are going to correlate any of those topics on Twitter or X or whatever it's dang called nowadays, it's not a winning strategy. You're going to lose fans. You're going to lose subscribers. You're going to lose friends. Piss people off. You're going to get negative feedback. It's a bad topic. It's a bad topic, whether you are right or you're not. So, like in the movie War Games, and I'll end it with this. The only winning strategy of that game, or global thermonuclear war, of Jimmy G versus Derek Carr, the only winning strategy is do not play that game. Because we got the NPCs, I call them NPCs. The bots, the NPCs. The cancel culture, the left that we just spoke about. That'll come after you for saying anything good about Derek Carr. Then, if they say anything good about Jimmy G, some of the Derek Carr people come after them. The only winning strategy is not to play. And that is sad when we cannot respect when all Raider Nation cannot respect and root for a former Raider for his actual life, career, and his future. I thought the motto, again, another motto, once a Raider, always a Raider, right? Apparently, only when he's retired. So again, if Josh McDaniel loses a lot for us and messes up our team, then he retires a Patriot. Are we going to say once a Raider, always a Raider? No, there are, rules to that damn slogan. And one of them for me that I will never speak good about is Warren Sapp. Some of you guys can add Jamarcus Russell in there. People could add Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett, whatever that. It's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic, y'all. Raul, what's your opinion? You said, I will wish Derek Carr luck, but no way am I following or wasting my energy on another team. I understand your point, brother, but still, you are going to watch a game when it's on, and let's be honest, because he was a former Raider, if you're at home and the game's on and you want to watch a game and that game is on, you're going to watch it. And while you watch it, are you going to say, I hope he, or congratulate him when he does a big play? Again, it's one of those things, but I understand you, Raul. I'm not here to fight, brother. Fan how the way you fan. I'm definitely going to be interested in Derek Carr's statistics. And I know he has something to prove not only to himself, but he because he's an insecure person as well, just like I am. He's going to want to prove it in stats. He's going to want to win games. He's going to want to play better because he probably believes in that staff more than he did, Josh McDaniels and whoever. And that's called, like, even though he's not a Raider, that's the will to win. He lost it when he was with the Raiders. I could say that for the most part. Maybe he lost it that final year or at certain times, but he lost the will to win. But now he found it again. And again, we're the Vegas Raiders. We're in Sin City. Now he's a Saint. So maybe he went from a sinner to a saint. They are both mediocre quarterbacks, not elite. Same guy, different bodies. Correct. But in my opinion, again, overall, as a quarterback, not statistically, not with wins, not in the red zone, but overall, Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. But Jimmy G is the winning quarterback. And again, that's all that matters at the end of the day is the wins. Dionysius, how many Raiders do the Saints have now? Carr, Allen, and Gruden are the ones that I know of. Any others? Yeah, don't they have a wide receiver from the Raiders? Again, Brian Edwards, I believe. I think so. He might be with the. Is he with the Broncos? No. Brian Edwards, I think. Oh, they wrote that. Oh yeah, Foster Moreau. That's right, Foster Moreau, Arkham Raider, Rebel Raider, Edwards or whatever. All right. So what did you say? Jimmy G knows the system. Well, McDaniels even said in a press conference this past week that information that you gave, Anthony, is overstated. That Jimmy G was with the team 6 years ago, and the system has changed a little bit, the verbiage as well. And he played with the 49ers for 4 years or 5 years or whatever it was, 6 years. And that people keep saying Jimmy G knows the system. That can be disputed. And even our own head coach said, I don't know. Our own head coach is giving excuses already for Jimmy G not knowing the entire system. You can find that information online. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Because I don't want to make this an actual forever topic. Let's do some camp headlines, okay? Let's do some camp headlines, guys. And again, I'm not going to compare Derek Carr. Maybe I will. I don't know. Again, hopefully it's my last video where I can constantly create the divide that there is automatically within Raidernation. I shouldn't be afraid to say the word Derek Carr, but that's what they do to you. I keep trying to get out, but they pull you back in. The damn left, the damn Democrats, cancel culture. You can't even speak the words Derek Carr without being ashamed. Ashamed. Shame. 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 How dare you speak about Derek Carr? He's no longer a Raider. Get over it. You are admonished. You should be admonished. All right, let's talk about a major storyline that has got everybody divided as well. Apparently, Jimmy G, in a couple of, beyond his, days off that a veteran quarterback gets in training camp when he's learning basically a new system, 7 years later, when he's with new players, has no chemistry, coming off an injury, but he has days off, and they're planned, and they're perfect to get him acclimated during training camp. I don't remember ever hearing that about anybody else. But okay, that's my opinion. But beyond him getting days off, when he is on the field, there's been multiple storylines the first two and a half weeks of Jimmy Garoppolo in camp. Because not only are we comparing Derek Carr or Jimmy G to Derek or Derek to Jimmy, the media is doing it as well. And they do it in their media reports. Okay? I'm not going to go into each report. You guys can follow that yourselves. I'm just here to talk about the storyline and what it means and what's the truth of it. Apparently, Jimmy G, when he was on the field on his non-planned days off, you see how I make that a sarcastic joke? Apparently, in 2 days, he threw 7 interceptions. Okay, what does that mean? Honestly, not that much. Not that much in the grand scheme of things. But for training camp, it means he's struggling in the system he's supposed to know. That's what that means. He struggled with the 49ers. I think he threw 5 interceptions in one day at camp as well, if my memory serves me correct. But again, in the grand scheme of the season, does it mean anything? It just means he's learning. He struggles with certain schemes or plays or whatever's going on and all that other stuff. Now, people take that storyline as well as, again, versus Derek Carr, this and that. We'll get into the Derek Carr Gruden storyline at camp with interceptions in a minute. But people can take that information multiple ways of him throwing 7 interceptions in 2 days at camp. They can take that information any way they want. But I just want to remind everybody that after he threw those 7 interceptions, he had a day off the next day. Was it planned officially? Were they mad at him? Did the coaches say he does need a planned day off that we spoke about earlier? Was it officially planned for that Monday? Or was the planned day off on Tuesday, but now they made it a Monday because of the interceptions? I don't know. Those are just theories to throw across your screen and say it's kind of funny. But other people can take that information and they can say, that's because our defense looks freaking excellent. Our defense is intercepting a veteran quarterback 7 times in 2 days because our defense is that much better. Our defense is playing well. Yes, that is a positive way that I envy that a lot of people take that news and that information. But I look at it with blinders, with critical thinking, with other differences that maybe you do not do. I don't think the way I do it is correct, but it works for me, and I'm right most of the time. So, in the grand scheme of things, what does the Jimmy G interceptions mean? Nothing. But does it mean our defense is better? Uh, I'm going to debunk those thoughts that our defense is intercepting Jimmy Garoppolo because they are that much better. It's the same defenses that Garoppolo knows from the Patriots, right? If it's the same system, maybe not on defense, but let's technically say Patrick Graham was with Jimmy Garoppolo at that time. I don't know. I got to look it up. But you would think it's the same defense at camp. And you would hope that Jimmy Garoppolo would start finding the ins and the outs of that defense. But he's not, because he's throwing interceptions. Well, why is he throwing interceptions and why so many? The blame can be placed on Josh McDaniels' scheme. Huh? Huh? Why isn't the blame on Jimmy G? Why isn't the blame on Derek Carr? Why are you placing the blame on Josh McDaniels? Because the defense that was on the team last year played against the same offensive scheme from Josh McDaniels, the same playbook, the same style. And they know it better than they did last year. So for this year's training camp, they know what the plays look like because they've seen them multiple times. And within Josh McDaniels' system, it's not up to the quarterback to find the open guy. According to Josh McDaniels' system, they only target one player on every play. One player is primary on every play. And that one player plays the same route every play that's called for that play. So the defense is figuring it out. So Jimmy G throws an interception 7 times because they know the play calls. It's like the damn Super Bowl. Everybody knows Josh McDaniels' system, and they typically know the guy that the ball is going to be thrown to. They know the route running, and they get it to him. They get to him quicker than Jimmy G does. But that's only if Jimmy G, when he throws the interceptions, is going at his first read. I'm not on the field. I do not know that. But if all these interceptions came with his first read, it's because Josh McDaniels has the player in the same route tree, the same position, on the same snap count, in the same play, and the defense is getting wind of it, and they're jumping the gun. Now, is it because Jimmy G holds on to the ball too long, like they say Carr does? Is it his second read? If these interceptions are on his second or third read, it's because no other players are primary in Josh McDaniels' system for that read. That's how it was last year. When the first game, every read was to Devontae Adams. Then on a couple of occasions on third down, every read was to the slot wide receiver or the tight end on third down. It was noticeable. And to you guys, or some people, to think that the system is going to change, even for the professional NFL teams, it will not. If they figured us out last year and Derek Carr threw as many interceptions as he did, That is a possibility for this year as well. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So, is Jimmy G the interception king? No. Will he be? I hope not. But who's to blame for all the interceptions? At camp. Jimmy G is struggling. And the defense knows a lot of the routes and the plays, and they're jumping it, hence why Jimmy G is getting intercepted. Does that make them better? The defense? Yes, because they're starting to understand game plays. And if they could find the same type of stuff on film before a game, and they can jump it like they do at camp versus their own team, then yes, they're getting better. All right, let's look at some comments on this subject. Let me get my screen back up. Sorry, look at a few comments if I can. Hoyer is just collecting his social security check. Glorified clipboard holder. I could see that, Frost. No one is money begging. What? Work is worth being paid for, don't you think? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just like last year, not allowing the quarterback to make decisions. Again, Michael F. Again, I appreciate your commentary. You're a little, we don't always agree, but again, yeah, Derek Carr, for whatever reason, went against the system. He didn't like it. He didn't believe in it. He didn't feel the player would be open. He was scared of the coverage. He was changing the blocking situations for players because he didn't want to get hit. He didn't believe in it. Whatever the case is, he changed plays. And Josh McDaniels won't stand for that because it's a Josh McDaniels highway or the flyway type of mentality. And it's the same thing with Jimmy G. They got one person you need to throw the ball to, and that's it. Because Josh McDaniels believes his game plan or his play, whatever play is called at that moment, that player in his game plan will be open and ready to catch the ball quickly. That's according to Josh McDaniels' head. Now, the quarterback might see something different. But they don't want the quarterback going rogue because Josh McDaniels believes with his fucking ego that every play against any defense, that player will be open the first read. Or he wants the quarterback to throw the ball away or scramble or make something happen. We don't have a Patrick Mahomes. Derek Carr was not Patrick Mahomes like. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'll catch you too. Have a good night, David. All right. Jimmy G won't survive the entire season. It's quite possible the Aiden O'Connell will play. Yeah, I could see that, man. We're going to go through that theory in a little bit. Quarterback must be able to make adjustments. Exactly. Can Jimmy G do it better than Derek Carr? He throws interceptions as well. So, again, the comparisons will happen forever. Casey, what's up, brother? The offense is going to surprise a lot of teams. We have us a Super Bowl contending team as long as we have a top 15 defense. Well, I mean, look, that's the positive way to think, and I appreciate it, and I love it, and I thank you, Corey. And unfortunately, I'm always on the negative side of things, or the glass is half empty, because I'm Mikey the Jaded Raider, as we spoke about. If we have a top 15 defense, is a big statement. We will not have a top 15 defense this year. Maybe we can crack to the top 16. 17, we will not have a top 15 defense. Maybe we're 15. If we get 15, all right, maybe. With some good luck, some good players, and a lot of good stuff happening to us. And I don't want to speak about luck because I'll speak about that in a few minutes. But yeah, we won't crack the top 14. So, but the offense will surprise people because we can't get worse. Can we? We were in a lot of games last year. Whether you blame Carr, the coach, whoever, I don't care. We were in a lot of games last year. Then, if the offense is going to surprise a lot of people, we're probably going to do it without Josh Jacobs, probably till week 10. That's just my theory. But I love your positivity statement. I just can't get on board. Can I get aboard that Casey Hagan text train? Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo. Get on board, Mikey Raider. Get on board. I can't do it, Casey. Can't do it. Can't do it. Jimmy will last longer with the Raiders than what Shanahan got him blasted with. Ooh, sorry, guys. I got a little bit of a body fart right there. All of a sudden, I wasn't feeling so well. Okay. Calm down. Jimmy will last longer with the Raiders than what Shanahan got him blasted with. I don't understand that statement, Anthony. I'm sorry, brother. I'm reading it incorrectly. Raiders have the worst luck playing in the toughest division in football for the defense as well. You're right, Israel. Raiders blew more double. Okay, in response to all the positivity, Raiders blew more double-digit leads than any team in a 100-plus year history of the NFL. That's right, they did. That's a fact. That's not playing, that's coaching, period. In my opinion, Panda, correct. Correct. Michael F., with so many road games coming up out of the gate, we may be buried before we get rolling. That is a good statement, Michael. I appreciate that. We got a tough schedule coming up. We'll get into that more in the next week's show. But let's move on to the next topic. All right, let me see if I can get that. Move on to the next topic, and we can get this show kind of rolling. I don't need to look at Raiders.com for any camp updates. But if you guys have any camp updates that I didn't read or see, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I read it. Just to give you a storyline, we don't have to talk about it. Damon Arnett apparently stole a watch from a woman while he did a plea deal. Henry Ruggs was also in court and apologized and, trying to bring down his sentence to 3 years. Those are the storylines, whether they're Raider-oriented now or not. Just wanted to give them to you guys. So let's stay on this really tough topic, guys, in terms of division. Since we're talking about interceptions. All right. Many of you that follow everything Raider-oriented know the story. But let me give you a little TLDR, the lowdown, redown, whatever it's called. Apparently, Q, your boy Q, a Raiders influencer, a Raiders reporter on Twitter, and I think a couple radio stations. I love the guy. I was going to have him as a guest a couple years back. He was going to come on my show, but I wasn't able to work it out at the time due to whatever reasons I have. But he did a report coming off of the Jimmy Garoppolo interception story. Literally the day after Jimmy Garoppolo was quoted as saying, or was not quoted, was told to everybody that he threw 7 interceptions in the previous 2 camp days. Then a storyline all of a sudden came out about Derek Carr from your boy Q. And sometimes, in my opinion, it's a distraction. Look over here. Don't blame Jimmy G. Don't blame McDaniels. Blame the former Raider. Blame the former coach or whoever. Look over there. Stop looking over here. And I cannot say with all good faith that your boy Q gave an honest statement or was given that information honestly or truthfully for him to report it. Because what your boy Q did is he made a video and he said that he was told by sources that were close to Gruden and though that Raider team that he was told that Gruden specifically tells the defense in training camp to not intercept Derek Carr. That's the report. Your boy Q was told by an insider or somebody close to that situation that Gruden told the defense to save Derek Carr's ego, to save his confidence, and the defense at camp while they're practicing to get better to not intercept Derek Carr to feed his ego and to build his confidence going into the season. Because no quarterback should be intercepted in training camp. That would make them get better. The coach has to tell the defense, hey guys, let's do Derek Carr solid because I know Derek Carr is insecure. Let's do Derek Carr solid. And I know you know the play and you might be able to intercept the pass or jump the gun and get at him. But you know how we tell you not to hit the quarterback to injure them in camp? Well, do me a favor. Don't sharpen iron. Iron doesn't sharpen iron. Don't hit the quarterback and don't intercept him. We need his confidence going into the season. We don't want to mess up his confidence going into the season. Okay, for any intelligent person that can critically think and doesn't hate Carr, will say that statement is the most ridiculous statement on Derek Carr's integrity, on Gruden's integrity, on Gruden coaching for the team that he loves. That's like when we called out the Super Bowl sabotage. People think that the coach, Bill Callahan, wouldn't sabotage his own team. In my opinion, if Gruden did this, this is sabotaging Derek Carr because Derek Carr will not get better. You think his confidence will be good that iron won't sharpen iron? But again, in my opinion, to the intelligent people that could look at that statement from afar, I hope you find the critical thinking within that statement and say, that sounds ridiculous. And that did not happen. It didn't. It didn't. And again, how is Carr to blame if it did happen? Because Carr's ego? There's, again, in Gruden's first year and second year and third year, I don't have them in front of me, but you can pull up multiple reports of Derek Carr throwing interceptions in training camp. So by that statement, well, Gruden has to yell at the defense because some of them got interceptions. I don't want my defense to get better against maybe even a Jimmy G that looks like a little bit like Derek Carr in the future. I don't want my defense to get better. Don't intercept him. Don't. Stifle your gameplay. Stifle your defense. Don't run and intercept him. Try not to. Try not to run. Try not to see the play before it happens. Try not to do that for my defense that has never been top 15 or 20 for the past probably 10, 15 years. Ridiculous statement, guys. He probably says that to all his teams then. Well, I don't know of any coach that tells him, "Hey, don't make my quarterback better. Don't intercept him. Don't make my quarterback better. Don't you get better." I don't see the philosophy, guys. There you go. Another cap report. Agreed. It's ridiculous. And it just sucks that the hit job that they're trying to do on Derek Carr. Again, this fed back into Derek Carr and his insecurities or his confidence. And it took the information away from Jimmy G. And it brought it all back on a hit job to Derek Carr. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Remember the hit job they did on Derek Carr a few months ago? Oh, Derek Carr, was benched because he's pouted on the sidelines like a baby. Huh? In one game, he broke and he cried. He broke at the end of that game. He was broken all year. For whatever McDaniels and his evil brought, he was broke. He was still rooting on his team. He wasn't pouting on the sidelines. And they say they didn't like his energy in the locker room. Well, if you have to go to work with Satan every day and then get yelled at by Satan every day, and they broke you, whatever, they broke your spirit. If you have to go to work with Satan every day, how can you not be excited? How could you not be disgruntled and sit in the corner and not communicate with everybody? It's not pouting. It's just, I don't want to be around you, dude. I don't like what you're selling. But to Derek Carr's credit, most people won't give him credit. They'll say it was a flaw. He said he didn't give his best, and he didn't. He should have manned up, found more strength to put up with whatever McDaniels had to offer. Remember, he always said, McDaniels tells me to throw it, to where he wants, to the guy he wants. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. But he did. He broke. But to Carr's credit, he said, I didn't have it. I didn't give my best to the Raiders. He didn't say I gave up. He just said I didn't give my best. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find the strength within him to overcome the battle with McDaniels and the system and Satan at that moment. That's just my opinion. All right, let's read about your fan bases about this. Chiefs were playing down to the Raiders level if Chiefs were on their game the entire match. You're right. That's why at the end of the game, they did the roller coaster. The roller coaster play that even our head coach said it wasn't disrespect. Was it disrespectful that they did the roller coaster? No, it was a game. It was a gameplay. I enjoyed watching that show, Quarterback, with the Mad Max Crosby's play versus Patrick Mahomes in that first episode of Quarterback. That was a fantastic watch. And I love Mad Max Crosby, man. He is being wasted, bro. And the sad part about that is defensive edge rushers, for the most part, they don't have 10-year careers to try to win. He's already, in his 4th or 5th year? Again, how many great Mad Max Crosby years are really left with a bad defense, man? Just really, really sucks to say. Corey, you're funny, bro. Who is their car? Don't you mean David? Remember the media for every year would be like, hey, and David Carr, threw 2 touchdowns for the Raiders today. And David Carr threw an interception for the Raiders today. My name is Derek. I'm not David. I'm not David. I'm not David. My name is Derek Carr. I don't buy that Gruden is not soft on his quarterbacks. If he thought Carr was soft, he'd have dumped him. Again, that's your take, brother. I don't think Gruden said that and did that. I don't. I think it's a hit job against Gruden, maybe against Derek Carr, however way you see it. And I feel bad that your boy Q, who is a great dude, got fed some information that I believe was inaccurate and wrong and a lie. And then he presented it as a truth. So he's now a part of the divide. He had to clearly make rebuttals back and forth because of the divide. And it's just sad. It's just sad. What about last offseason camp? Rebel Raider, I don't, you know what? I need to look into that information. I'm thinking there's a report of Derek Carr throwing an interception. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be Jimmy. No, that would be Derek Carr last year. That's right. I don't know. I think the reports for Derek Carr last year, forgive me if I'm mistaken, Rebel Raider, but I believe Derek Carr threw no interceptions in camp. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe one. But I'm thinking the reports under Josh McDaniels was that Derek Carr threw no interceptions on camp. So, did Josh McDaniels tell the defense not to intercept Derek Carr to save his ego? Was that the report by your boy Q? Was he talking about Josh McDaniels? No, I believe he was talking about under the Gruden era. He didn't specifically say Gruden, I don't believe. But did McDaniels do that? Now, let me be honest. That's something I could see McDaniels doing, not Gruden. That's something I could see Josh McDaniels' stupid butt doing against Derek Carr. It's telling his defense, hey, man, I know this guy's insecure. We want to build his confidence under my system because he's already struggling, while we read the playbook together. So, hey, defense, don't intercept Derek Carr or try not to. I could see Josh McDaniels doing that in somehow to help Derek Carr in a ridiculous way. That's how good of a coach he is, that he tells players to play less than they can do to appease a quarterback. Ugh, that sounds like something Josh McDaniels would do. But we're over this topic. It's just a really interesting subject that I wanted to speak about, guys. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Sorry, I'm not getting to everybody's comments, guys. We got a lot of things to talk about that I wanted to express in today's show, and I appreciate you guys for going through it with me. Okay, let's go to the next storyline of camp, and that is of, will Tyree Wilson ever play? Please let me know. I haven't read personally any reports that he's actually practiced on the field and done any plays just yet. I haven't seen it. Maybe he has. Please update me with that information. I can't read and do everything. But there are still the reports that he'll be ready for week 1 and he'll be on the field and all that other stuff. Back to the last segment. Yeah, again, I doubt McDaniels or Gruden would do that. That's why the report just doesn't make sense to me. So, whatever. Thank you for that comment, Dex. Again, I don't see anybody letting me know that Tyree Wilson has been on the field at practice, on the field playing just yet. Today they started mutual training with the 49ers, and I don't know if Tyree Wilson has been on the field or whatever, but please let me know if he has. It doesn't make my statement that I'm about to make any less true. It just is the truth of the situation with Tyree Wilson, and it'll also explain how I think major bad decisions continue to plague this organization, whether it be from Mark Davis, from Josh McDaniels, or the general manager. We all know the situation with Tyree Wilson coming into the draft. He's injured. It was a very bad injury. He needed to have surgery. He had surgery. Then the Raiders had the 4th or 5th pick. Was it the 6th? It might have been the 6th this year. They had the 6th pick in the draft. They drafted what some would consider at the time during his last college year the number 1 defensive player on the board, Tyree Wilson. But again, he had a major leg injury that sidelines most people for a year, 8 to 12 months. Then most recoveries will not happen officially where they're maybe toward 95 or 100% for a year and a half later. Again, people can recover different ways. Some of them heal within 7 or 8 months and can run and do all that good stuff. But are they 100%? Not within those 8 or 9 months, let's be honest. They are not. It takes like a year and a half to 2 years to really, really understand your legs coming off of that injury, how you can plant on it, how you can do your athletic skills. That's my opinion. Some players have come back after 8, 9 months. They get on the field. They make good plays. But are they what they were the year before? Not all the time. They are not coming off of those leg injuries. Rebel Raider, you're out. I know it's late. Good night, brother. Love you, man. Peace. The Fly, this channel is going to blow up this season. I appreciate that. I would hope so, but nobody likes me anymore for my negativity. It's all good. I'm just speaking the truth as I see it. But nobody, so the recovery for Tyree Wilson should have known to have been a 2-year recovery from the coaching staff, in my opinion. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's why they still drafted him at number 6. But for a first-round draft pick, from my perspective, coming off an injury like that, I call it a redshirt year. If he even gets on the field and plays a game, it won't be till late in the season, after week 11, where he can be useful. That's my opinion. That might have been exactly a year from the date when he hurt himself in college. Maybe the Raiders expected that, but that's not what they're selling us. The media reports are like, he's good to go. His recovery's going well. He's at the facility. He's working out on his own. But yet, I haven't heard any reports that he got on the field. But we keep hearing, whether it be from fans or media, that he's going to play this season. So the pick at number 6 of Tyree Wilson, I don't like. I hope it pays off in the future. But in my opinion, he'll never be the same as he was in college. He'll be a little bit less. He'll never be more coming off that injury. And if he does, well, then I would gladly be mistaken. But I don't know too many storylines of players becoming better than they were in college coming off of those type of injuries. For the most part, I remember star players getting injured, playing for the team, and they play at a little bit of a lesser level, or they become depth in those futures. The stats will not match the college stats coming off an injury, in my perspective. And if that's what the fan base and everybody's expecting from the first round, 6th pick in the draft, you're sadly mistaken. And that's what the coaches and the general manager should have thought about. But again, let's be honest, even to have a lesser than Tyree Wilson next year, not this year, even if we have a little bit lesser than Tyree Wilson next year, it's still better than most of the defensive linemen we've had for the previous 10 seasons. So that is a strategy for the future. But in my opinion, in the first round, I know we're in Vegas. I don't want to gamble on that shit. I didn't want to. I like the pick. I understand the pick, but I don't. I'm not a gambling man. McDaniels is a gambling man. Lord, he's a gambling man. But I don't see us reaping the reward. And we all want it instantly. Let's be honest. We all want the reward instantly. It ain't going to come. In my opinion, he won't actually start practicing till right before the start of the week one. He'll get on the field once or twice if he hasn't already. Again, I haven't seen the reports that he's practiced yet. A lot of fans think, oh, he's going to be ready for week one. He'll get on the practice field in week one. Maybe one day they'll put him on the bicycle or something like that. Then we'll be talking about it till week two. Hey, is he going to get on the field? Is he going to do some drills? Yeah, maybe we'll have to see where it goes. But he's on the bicycle now and lifting weights. Then in week two, same story. Oh, he gets out there, runs a route or does something or runs a play, gets back on the bike. And again, this is going to be the storyline at least until week 5. Then maybe he's literally at camp, running around with the big dogs and trying to get his body up to frame. And I'm calling it. Week 5 will be around that time. And then he might officially play in a game on week 6 or 7 or maybe 8. But I'm going to say 6 or 7 he'll play in that game. Will he start? Will he be the main guy? A 3-down lineman? No. That won't happen until week 10 or 11 after he has 3 or 4 weeks of playing 10 plays a game, 15 plays a game. That won't happen till week 10 or 11. Then on top of that, let's be honest, if we're losing a lot of games by that time, would they want to put him on the field with that many plays, play the entire game or however long he can while we're losing and maybe get injured again for the following season? I don't see it happening. So, in all honesty, unless we're winning, Tyree Wilson will not be a huge part of this defense this year. And if he is, it'll be toward the later end of the year if we're in a playoff hunt. That's my opinion, and I think it will become factual. He will be a playmaker. He might have a couple of good plays in one game or not, but the problem with that is that'll build the Raidernation excitement, and then I just don't truthfully see him being a big factor the entire season. Maybe in a couple of games, that's all we need. Is a big factor in 1 or 2 games to get a victory. I get it. Then the future will be even brighter for Tyree Wilson. So, that's just my perspective. I don't like the pick. I'm not a gambling man. I hope the pick pays off a little bit this year, a lot next year, and a lot the next year after that. But I don't think he'll ever be 100% like he was in his college days. But again, if we get 90% of him from his college days, that's better than any Raider defensive lineman besides Max Crosby that we've had for many years. And Khalil Mack, for that matter. So, will Tyree Wilson ever play? Yeah, he'll play a little bit this year. Not a lot. Will he play all game? Probably not. My perspective. What are you guys' thoughts on this? On this Tyree Wilson information? He's just lifting weights. Anthony says till week 10. Frost WS. Oh, that's a scary comparison. Tyree Wilson equals Cleveland Farrell. What, you're awake? That's funny. I am normally asleep, Tiger, if you're talking about me. But I'm on a vampire schedule lately where I'm up all night, sleep all day. I'm living the Lost Boys life. You're eating maggots, Mikey. Join us, Mikey. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're around. Where people seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. Mikey Raider strange. They only remember his name and his voice. Mikey Raider strange. Yeah. We better hope Chandler Jones gets his act back. You're dang right. You're dang right. Tyree and Jimmy G Spot are sharing the same foot. Ooh, Pando, your comedy's pretty good, bro. You're really good at it, man. Appreciate you. You're bringing positivity to me while I'm being negative. Maybe we'll get lucky and Chandler will play like he did in Arizona. Isn't he in his 10th, 11th, 12th year? How many players get that much better after that long a time? I don't see it. But hey, like Yoda said, or the episode of that movie, A New Hope. Is there hope? He's the one. As Yoda would say, no, there is another. There you go. Israel even spoke for me. I didn't even see this till now. But remember, Chandler Jones is 33. Well, that's an Illuminati year. And a lot of things happen with the number 33 or 3. So maybe he'll be a part of the Illuminati this year. And yes, Pande Colima. Pande, what is that? Is that a food? Pande Colima. Pande, is that panda? Panda bear? Colima? Isn't Colima like comfort? I don't know. Please let me know what that means. Pande Colima. But yeah, in the next pick, the Eagles traded up. They did whatever they did to trade up to pick Jalen Carter. Boom! You're going to go with injured Tyree Wilson, who probably won't even play for 2 years? Boom! Let's get up and get Jalen Carter. Wah, wah, wah. And he'll probably, in Raider lore, have a beautiful year. He'll probably, remember, we could have got Trayvon Diggs a couple of years back. We could have had Patrick Ramsey many years back. And we don't pick these players. We could have had Josh Allen at one point if we wanted to. Woo! Wah, wah, wah. That's how it feels to be a Raider, man. Carr couldn't convert in the end zone. Jimmy can. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, Miguel. Again, I'm not going to debunk Carr, Jimmy, this and that. I don't care. I don't care. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. All right, Corey with that positive. What's up, Corey? Mikey Raider, listen to me, dude. I don't know if you're Mexican. Corey Hagen, maybe you're Swedish. Hey, Mikey Raider. Chandler Jones will have 9 sacks this year. Mad Max will have 12. Book it. Is that even a good accent? Spot the T. I don't know. Thank you for the positivity. And that would be lovely. If the Raiders as a team can go over 20 sacks, that would be lovely. Lovely. There you go. Pande Colima is bred from Colima, Mexico. That's right. So Pande is bread. I should buy more of that bread from the Spanish store. Make a Raider recipe with some carnitas. Get some of that Pande bread. You know, the sweet breads as well. Those are good. What's up, Dark Side Raider? Mikey, we going to be pretty decent in win 9. Yeah. I'll let that one slide, Dark Side. Because I hope we do. I hope we win more than 9. What's up, Duet? We could have had Ben Roethlisberger in 2004. There you go. What's up? We went from going to Kansas City, beating Chiefs, To our Pinky Cotton quarterback feeling a little bit exhausted. Leaves the practice 2 weeks, the season starts. That's right. That's how I feel about it. The Josh McDaniels situation. All right, let's get into our next subject, guys. All right, let's get into the truth of the 2023 Raiders team. Okay, again, positive and negative. You could be on any side of the fence, and I will not tell you how to fandom. I will not judge you for whatever side of the fence you are, whether you agree with me or you don't. But my truth, and I believe the overall truth of the 2023 Raiders team is not that good. It is a rebuilding year again in what seems to be a bilateral, is that every 2 years, rebuild. Where every 2 years or 3 years we're in a rebuild, and then we got positivity going and we're dispelled and we let players go, a new regime comes in and they start all over. That is the truth of this team. And last year should have been the rebuild year. Let's be honest. Josh McDaniels, if they literally knew that they were going to or had some doubt or some inkling that they were going to tear the team apart, meaning they don't really believe in Derek Carr, they don't know what they got in him, or Josh Jacobs, or whoever. If they had any inclination of that, that's what they should have sold to Mark Davis, but they didn't, to become the coaches. They've sold Mark Davis on coming off of the playoffs, that they're just going to add Devontae Adams or players like that. They're going to give new contracts to Darren Waller and all these other Raider legacy players. And we're going to give them new contracts and we're going to build upon what we did last year. And they sold that to Mark Davis. And Mark Davis is like, you're right, man. We just got from the playoffs. You're a winning coach from the Patriots. And you're going to build upon this team. You're going to ingratiate Derek Carr, Adams, Waller with a new contract, Hunter Renfrow, Mad Max Crosby, all these people. You're buying into the system. You are all in. I agree with that statement, Mark Davis says. So he hires Josh McDaniels. But behind the scenes, they sold Mark Davis on lies. Yes, they still gave him the contracts and everything. They had to do that because that's how they got the job. It was required to do the job. But in the back of their mind, they had an out. Whether it be sabotage, it be this, it be that, and they didn't have belief in every single player. Even though they gave them contracts publicly, they did it publicly to make them look like they believe in that player. They sold the Raiders some lies. And for the sad part of me, a lot of Raider Nation doesn't see it. He sold our owner lies. They're not really lies because he did give them contracts and he technically believed in them, but they always had doubts. Hence why in the contract, they basically made it a 1-year deal for Derek. But Derek got the no trade clause in, luckily, to screw McDaniels. If he was ever to be traded, where he couldn't be traded. It was all deceitful the way everything happened. While they had knowledge that they don't really trust or believe in a lot of these players, and they don't see them for the Raiders long term, even though publicly they're trying to show that they gave them a long-term contract. They should have did the rebuild then and there. But they wanted to appease Mark Davis for giving him the job. They sold Raider Nation and some people on some lies and some BS, and we all know how that played out. But in my opinion, once he got the job for the Raiders and signed the contract, trade Derek Carr. If you had any doubts, which I know you did, trade him then. Get some value for him. Yes, it'll piss everybody off like Khalil Mack and everything that Gruden did in his first year. But that's the best way to go about coaching. Trade them all. But no, he wanted a wide receiver because he's never had one in New England. He's never had one in New England. So he wanted a wide receiver while hoping for a good quarterback. So he used Derek Carr and the contract to get Devontae. But he should have fired everybody that didn't buy into his system, traded him early, traded him often, even during the season. After him and Derek Carr didn't work out. They knew that within week 5 or 6 or 7. It wasn't working. Should have traded him then. But again, they gave him the contract and he had a no-trade clause. A lot of coaching mistakes. But they should have did the rebuild that year. For whatever reason, they didn't. And now, this is the rebuild year. So, even though that was their first year as a coach, going into the second year this year, now everybody's saying this is their first year. Because they got rid of all the riffraffs and they brought in their draft class, and now this is their first year. So they're giving him and Ziegler more excuses and more bad decisions, calling it the Raiders' first year under Josh McDaniels. Okay, I don't agree with that philosophy, but I'll take it. So, going into year 1 of the Josh McDaniels regime, we have a young nucleus team, an offense that can surprise people if everything goes according to plan and everybody plays up to their capability and everybody understands the system and Josh McDaniels gets out of their way. Our offense can make plays. But again, we need a running back. We got that situation. A lot of players that are left over from last year are sour on Josh McDaniels. That's facts. They are sour. They're still going to play for him. They're still going to give their best, but they are sour because they see the lies, the deceit, and the shady and the mockery that they've done to this organization, certain players, and the fan base. Some players see it and know it, and that creates, if we're losing, a divide in the locker room. It can get worse if it gets worse. But we'll deal with that when it comes to it. So the overall truth of this Raiders team is non-excitement. Non-excitement. Because we were torn down from the excitement of the playoffs and everything that was happening after all the turmoil. We were excited. We were on a high. We were excited to get McDaniels in. Give the contracts to Waller, Jacobs, Renfro, everybody. We were excited last year. And our hopes were dismayed. And for a lot of us, our eyes were open and we see the truth of the team. And we're not excited about the team they're giving us because they draft players that are injured, that might not even get on the field. Are there exciting pieces within? Yes, there are. Should we hold out hope for Jimmy G to take us to the Super Bowl? Yeah, we should. Yes, we should. But am I as excited as I normally am almost every year for the past 20, 30 years going into this year's team? No. I cannot find it. But I need to. I need to. I need to forgive McDaniels. I need to forgive everybody. And I need to find the excitement. The truth of this 2023 Raiders team is we're not that good. But we can be. But in all actuality, we're not. We're not. We are at best, hopefully, a 500 team. We are at best a 500 team. There is no 500 anymore. So that would be what, 8 and 10? Or I'm sorry, 8 and 9? Or if everything goes good for us, maybe we're 9 and 8. Does that mean we make the playoffs? Does that mean we're improving? Yes, it does. Does it mean we make the playoffs? I don't think so. So the truth of the 2023 Raiders team is we are on the come up, but I'm not excited for it because I don't like the history of what's being done by this staff. But I'm excited to watch some of the players. And let's be honest, for many years, we call out the media talking crap about the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders, or the media predicted the Raiders to go, 7 and 10, or 4 and 12, or whatever the debates were, a couple years back. And then all of us are like, you're kidding. We're going to be 16 and 0. We're going to be 17 and 0. Raiders are going to win 12 games. We do our predictions. We do all that fun, because we're excited for the team. Even though I wasn't excited about having Gruden as the coach, I was still excited because I liked Derek Carr. I liked Hunter Renfrow. I liked Josh Jacobs. I liked Khalil Mack at the time. We all know where that went. But the media every year puts out these reports about how many games the Raiders will win and how good of a team they are in the rankings. Like the Raiders are always ranked like 23rd, 21st, 25th. Last year, when we went into the rankings, and I think they brought us up to like 17. But that being said, the truth is the media, for their predictions and their rankings, they've been on point. If not, we've been worse. Almost every season, they've been on point. So when does it stop becoming talking crap about the Raiders and become actual facts that the media that do these predictions and these rankings, that they're right 90% of the time, 95% of the time? So when do we start giving them that credit? So this year, the Raiders are predicted by multiple outlets to not win more than 8 games. Raiders are ranked probably 24th right now, maybe 21st in some rankings. I do not know. But we're ranked toward the bottom on most scenarios. And I don't think anybody has us predicted-wise publicly winning more than 8 games. Yes, we get the occasional statement that the Raiders are going to be good. They're going to look good. They're going to surprise some people, so on and so forth. But for the majority of the mainstream media that technically has been proven right these past 10 years, we're not a good team. And now for the first year, I feel exactly what they're feeling. I get it. And I hate that I have this feeling. I hate it. And I hate presenting the negative, and I hate presenting all my takes, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I wish I could be better. I need to do better. I need to do better. But we are what we are. And we're probably a 8 and 9 team, or 500 if you call it at best. We are not a winning team, in my opinion. If I'm proven wrong, let me tell you, I will take my shirt off. I will own up to my mistakes, my projections, whatever, and I will do the truffle shuffle with nipple clamps on or something. I don't know. I don't even know if I got clamps. That's going to hurt. Oh my God. But again, I want to be proven wrong. I want the Raiders to win more than 8 games. And I want them to be a better team than they were last year. And we won 6 games. So if we win 7, if we're a better team than we were last year, if we win 7 games or more, then I will be proven incorrectly. I will put nipple clamps or something, take my shirt off, and do the truffle shuffle live on stream and apologize for being wrong. And I want to do that. That's kind of scary if I want to put nipple clamps on. Mikey Raider freaky. You freaky, Mikey Raider. All right, that's the truth of the 2023 Raiders team, guys, from my perspective. Now, we got a lot of comments to get to. Are there any super chats that I need to get to right away? Not that I see any. Hey, Angel, what's up, brother? Fantasy football coming up. I believe you're the same guy. Darkside Raider, 9-8 would be a nice turnaround. You're exactly right. 9-8 doesn't help the Raiders. I would rather go 3-14 and get Caleb Williams. You're right, Israel. Again, there are the tanking theories that, McDaniels is going to tank for a Caleb Williams. But let me debunk that theory real quick. For the theories that McDaniels possibly tanked last year to get rid of Carr or whatever, sabotage him, whatever. But the theories that he's tanking this year purposely and maybe to get Caleb Williams, the quarterback, to replace Jimmy G. If it's the quarterback that he's tanking for, I don't think it has much validity in that theory. Why? Because Josh McDaniels' system has always been a Tom Brady quarterback, a stand-in-the-pocket system to throw the ball, perfectly quick and not, have to run around and do all that other stuff. And again, I may be incorrect. Isn't Caleb Williams an athletic quarterback that runs around like Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes? Isn't he better at that than maybe a stand-in-the-pocket passer? Again, can he be like a Patrick Mahomes? He has all the abilities. Yeah, maybe he can. And maybe Josh McDaniels will draft that type of quarterback. But again, a young player in a crazy, complicated Josh McDaniels system that's Tom Brady-esque that takes, let's be honest, to learn it in and out, up and down, to improv everything and to know where every player is going, every defense strategy, that takes a really, really veteran, smart player, probably in his third or fourth year, till they really settle down. And again, I can't say that would be Caleb Williams. I can't compare him. Well, that's what Patrick Mahomes did. Again, I don't know how complicated Andy Reid's system is. And for my part, Andy Reid builds a system around the quarterback for that situation. Josh McDaniels provenly does not build systems for quarterbacks. He forces them to play within his system. So Caleb Williams, can he do that? I'd rather have a coach that builds a system. If you're going to tank to draft Caleb Williams, I'd rather have a coach that builds a system for him. But that's not his trajectory. That's not his pedigree. That's not Josh McDaniels' MO. He provenly has done that. So that's why the tanking for Caleb Williams theory kind of doesn't hold weight for me. But I would love a Caleb Williams. I would love a possible Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen quarterback. I would love it on this team, and I would want it. And if we have to tank this year to get a player that might possibly beat Patrick Mahomes in the future, I ain't going to say it publicly. We'll tank that motherfucker. But, yeah, so that theory doesn't hold weight for me. That theory doesn't hold weight. But yeah, man, I just wanted to give you guys my two thoughts on that theory. Yeah, if we get if we win more than 4, probably 3 or 4 games, then we're probably not going to be the number 1 pick, and we'd have to give up draft capital. Or, let's be honest, they can trade Max Crosby for draft picks next year. How dare you say that, Mikey Raider? How dare you say that? Maybe they can trade Hunter Renfrow in the middle of this season for a third round draft pick or a fourth round. I don't know. To get some capital for Caleb Williams. I don't know. Let's be honest. Hunter Renfrow is on a short leash. We all know it. They brought in how many slot wide receivers? They drafted how many slot wide receivers? Hunter Renfrow's on the chopping block. So if the other players play good, Hunter Renfrow will be on the trading block before the end of the season. Michael F. Aiden is going to be good. Man, I hope so. I still wish he picked a different number just because for at least a year or two, I don't want to feel some sort of way about losing my passionate, quarterback. But yeah, I really, really hope he does. I really, really hope he does. Darkside Raider, well, you're not going 3-4 and getting Caleb or Drake. So take some improvement instead. Who's Drake? Is there another player named Drake that I don't know about? Yeah, I don't watch college that much. I don't know. Pando, Bread, Josh was brought here to bring Brady to Vegas. Tom was like, nah, and we got effed. Yes, that is another theory that holds a lot of weight. That holds a lot of weight of why they benched their car and all that is they were waiting for Brady. Yes, I could agree with that theory. I could agree with that one. Miguel, Renfro supposedly on the shopping block since the start of the season, but he's still on the system. Yeah, he's still in the system. They can't get rid of him. They can't just cut him. Too much on the dead cap. But depending on players that get injured on other teams, and if we're winning and if our other players, look a little bit better or whatever, which according to the camp reports is Hunter Renfrow looks really crisp and good. But yeah, depending on factors, he still could be traded. All right, let's get to the next subject. And this is a little bit of a sad one for me because I'm going to get a little negative here. But I need to get it out of my system. This is a therapy session for me. And I hope you guys appreciate what I'm trying to show. So, and I think it might be kind of fun to hear me rant even more. Let me see if I can get this on screen. And let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger or better in some different way. Is it better if I'm at the bottom of the screen or bigger? Yeah, maybe bigger is okay. I like looking at my face. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful, Mikey Raider. You're beautiful. I should look up reports of Victor Fur from camp, but you know what? It's just going to be a lot of hype for players and positivity. And I think I'm looking for negative on the X. But yeah, so there it is. These are some of the reports from Victor Fur. I haven't really got caught up as of today. Jimmy G looks sharp in red zone drills. That's why he's here. Huh. Is that a report against his interceptions and against the fact that Derek Carr doesn't do good in the red zone, apparently? That's why he's here, for the red zone. Oh, my goodness. Neil Farrell is back. That's good news. Raiders on the active roster, who I don't see at practice. Wide receiver Chris Lacey. Michael Mayer was not at practice. So does that mean Tyree Wilson was at practice? According to that report, if he's not listed? I don't know. Yeah, former Raider Henry Ruggs was sentenced 3 to 10 years. So the minimum he's going to get is 3. We spoke about that earlier. All right. Vic Tafur wrote, I'm excited for Terrell. Oh, Titans coach on Terrell Williams. Sorry, guys. I'm just catching up. Okay. Vic Tafur gives us 5 things. Oh, I have to go to the website. I'll go to that later. All right, let's get into some tweets that triggered me, guys. Let's just do that. All right. These are tweets that triggered me. And I hate being Twittered. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm considering getting off of Twitter or X. Literally. It's just I know I contribute to the negative. I know I do because I get triggered. But I'm literally considering getting off of there. It's too negative of a space. If I get on YouTube, I'll get a little bit of negativity, and that's okay. But when I constantly look for updates, then I have to read the fighting. I mean, maybe that means I need to mute or get rid of every Raider fan that I tried to become a friend with. I don't know. But I've been thinking about that, man, because this negativity is killing me. And again, opinions are like assholes. There's one everywhere, and I'm an asshole as well. But tier Raiders, and I just watched Murph's show today. They did a great job again. Murph did his live show earlier today. Appreciate them. Apparently, they made a lot of money for the foundation representing. I love it. A Bo Jackson signed jersey. Am I a little bit jealous? Yes, because I'm the foundation. I need help, in all ways. but on their show, they literally at one point when they were giving shout outs to fans or talking quotes or something, they presented Tier Raiders 22. They said that he gave a take on the Jimmy G versus Derek Carr red zone or something like that. And Murph and Swag Jeff and Michelle, they all agreed. They're like, what a great take. And they presented Tier Raiders 22 take on their podcast. And they're like, oh, we freaking love that guy. He's an amazing fan and all that. Well, so I wanted to see who that fan was. And then I got on X. Because his take was good. It was a decent take. Then I was like, that name sounds familiar. Then I literally get on X, and in my direct messages from another Raider fan, I believe his name is Ty, he literally posted this quote. I don't know how it all played into fact. I saw it on Murph's show. Not this quote, but I saw another quote, or I heard another quote on Murph's show. Then I looked up this guy, and I go to Twitter, and I find the message from another Raider fan and then he has another post from this guy, Tier Raiders 22. So here it is. Let's read it together. Let's read Tier Raiders 22 post. And again, Murph and everybody was talking good about this dude just an hour earlier. And I wanted to love this guy. It's funny how the Lord or whoever presents me with people and bad takes, even though he had a good take earlier. So he's 50-50. He's like Derek Carr or Jimmy G. He's 50-50. But let's read it. You guys have already read it. Carr isn't just some random ex-Raider that you can hope does well. Huh? I can't hope that my former quarterback does well? I can't? Because Carr isn't just some random ex-Raider that you can hope. He isn't some random ex-Raider that you can hope does well. Oh, I can't? Oh, shit. Why can't I? Because Carr doing good would make the Raiders look bad. Oh, shit. How do you say? How do you say? Tell me more, Tier Raiders 22. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Did you get very far? Because Carr doing good and us hoping for him to do good would make the Raiders look bad. How? How would Carr winning games with a new regime make the Raiders look bad? If the Raiders are winning, it don't matter that Carr's on another team and that he's doing well. But if the Raiders are losing, because in the reality of Josh McDaniels and this team and the excitement, they're probably going to lose a lot more than they win. Yes, to some people like you, that would make not the Raiders look bad, it would prove the coaches are bad. The scheme is bad. The team is bad. Carr doing good would make the Raiders look bad. And we cannot make the Raiders look bad. You cannot talk bad about the Raiders. You cannot talk about a player. You can't do it. You can't. You can't make the Raiders look bad. They're the all-seeing hierarchy, or whatever that word is, hierarchy. You're not a real Raider if you make the Raider look bad. Blah, 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 blah. Then he tries to explain why rooting for Carr will make the Raiders look bad if he does well. Because he's a rival to the Raiders. Not really. He's in another division. He's not a rival till he plays us. Not really. He's another NFL team. Not really a rival. You can call it a rival when we play each other. He's not like the Broncos. He's not like the Chiefs. He's not like the Chargers. He's not like the Steelers of yesteryear. The Saints aren't really a rival. He's a rival to the Raiders until he retires. And until then, I hope that he loses every game. Wow, that is some spite. That is some spite for a human being that tried to give his best to the Raiders. That is some freaking spite toward Derek Carr just for not being the best quarterback that you've expected. That is some evil shit right there, y'all. That is some evil shit right there. You don't want Derek Carr to win any game. Now he triples down with ridiculous statements against us, Raidernation, and divides us. If you are a Carr fan, you are just as bad as a Broncos fan. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. The idiocracy just hit me like a lightning bulb. The lack of empathy, the lack of respect, the lack of heart, the lack of pride just came over me. All right, Tier Raiders 22. I'm going to chalk this one up to a loss for you. This is a big L. This is a big L in my book. This only creates a divide. You against anybody that hopes for Derek Carr for a brighter future. You're just dividing people. Is that what you want to do? Is that how you want to be a Raider fan? Is divide everybody? It's always the shield. Defend the shield. Defend the shield. If you're not on the Raiders, F you. How dare you root on anybody that's not a part of the Raiders? If you rooted on Charles Woodson when he was a member of the Packers, go kill yourself. Then he comes back to the team. I love Woodson. I've always loved Woodson. Woodson's the best. Retire a Raider. Charles Woodson, Hall of Fame. Raidernation for life. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Ridiculous take, guys. Let's quickly look at what they responded to him, and I'm looking forward to it. Mac held out and forced a trade. I still like seeing him do well. I like seeing a lot of former Raider players do well, and a lot of times these guys have learned leaving ball out for other teams. Raiders management has done a good job of making themselves look bad, excuse me. And then now Tier Raiders tells him what he hoped for to the Raiders for life. Tier Raider responds to him, you hope those 2 draft picks were bust. You know you did. I know what you were thinking. I was in your house. Boy, he's triggered. Boy, spiteful. And I get in my spats where I'm spiteful too. I get it. It's a bad place to be in. The insecurity is showing clearly as day here. If you were confident that the team will win now, then it wouldn't matter what Carr does with the Saints. So now there you go. So now you want to gatekeep fan loyalty because it doesn't work. Don't be goofy. I'm talking about your fake Raider fan butt. Now he's calling his Raider fans fake already. Oh my God. Murph, please take back the statement that he's a good human being or that he's a good Raider fan, because I don't see it. If you are hoping that the Raiders do bad and the Saints to do good in order to feel like your Carr fandom is correct, you are not a Raider fan. Nobody hopes the Raiders do bad. Nobody does. And if they do, they're just really hurt. They're really hurt. I don't hope the Raiders do bad. I'm expecting it. There's a difference. I'm expecting it. So he keeps responding to everybody. Darth Raider, you're on here, brother. If that's the same dude. I'm not rooting against him, but I'm definitely not rooting for him. What is rooting for him like? Can you not have hope that he has a better future? Like, I don't get it. I don't get the difference. I'm just sick of Carr fans. Okay, shut up. Shut up. If Carr was a Bronco, you'd still root for him. You don't even have to answer. Okay, let's put on hypotheticals. Let's be honest. If Derek Carr didn't have a no trade clause, Josh McDaniels still would not have traded Derek Carr to the Broncos, regardless of the payment plan or whatever they gave him, if Russell Wilson wasn't there. Why? Because in a weird sort of way, Derek Carr would have been released or benched or whatever from Josh McDaniels. And he wants to show everybody that Derek Carr is a failure. But then if he went to the Broncos and succeeded, it would prove Josh McDaniels is a failure. And Josh McDaniels would not let that happen. I am not going to trade him to a rival and possibly make myself look bad. No. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. He wasn't traded. He was released. Could he have gotten picked up by the Broncos? Yes, he could have. Derek Carr could have went there. But Derek Carr still loves the Raiders, and he wouldn't have went there. Besides that, they already had Russell Wilson, so it wasn't a possibility. But if Carr was a Bronco, would I still root for him? That's an interesting question. And the answer is after he retires. You like to answer with that tier, so I'm answering you back. You like to say once a Raider, always a Raider until they retire. So when Carr retires or comes back to the Raiders, then I'll root for him. I will not openly root on a team like the Broncos. But will I hope somewhere in a loss of every game, will I hope in a loss of every game, even against us, that Derek Carr is able to avenge and make a comeback and throw, 3 touchdowns a game and build his stats up? Yes, I can hope that in a loss. So when I say I hope he does well, that means Derek Carr and not the team he plays for. Do you understand? There's a difference, my good boy. And people kept responding to him, making him look stupid and all that. And then, see, he wrote it. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Once you retire. Oh, God, whatever. Again, that's after you retire, blah, blah, blah. Then after a while, I'm sure they were crushing him. There he is. There's the guy that sent me the message, Ty. What's up, Ty? Once a Raider, always a Raider, except for Derek Carr, because I don't want the team to look bad. Dude gave his all for close to a decade for the Shield, but oh no, Tier Raider deems him a rival. It's funny. That's funny, Ty. Then they just kept going after him. F out of here, dude. And then look, he stopped responding. Look, there's no more responses from him. Yeah, that was a bad take. That was a bad take. Saints have the easiest schedule in 2023. Carr will be comeback player of the year. Let me get my comments on screen. My goodness, why aren't they there? Carr will be comeback player of the year. The Raiders have always made themselves look bad with horrible choices. It starts at the top, lack of leadership. Fans are bystanders. That's right. We get kicked out for speaking our opinions, and they think that somehow they are a part of the team. F your favorite sports teams. They give no Fs about you. Interesting statement. But look, he didn't respond at all. He didn't respond at all. All right. That's it for that tweet that triggered me. And I'm just going to quickly go through a few more before we get into the 49ers preview and then close out the show, today's 2.5 hour show. Let me see if I can get it on screen. Some more tweets that triggered me, because this is my therapy session, guys, and I hope you appreciate it. And let's look at some of your comments in a second. Let me see if I can get another video open here with all this weird technology. How do I add it to the screen? Present screen window. There we go. All right, maybe it's on screen. Carl will always be a Raider at heart. It's the uniform. Marcus killed us after he left. Every chance he got. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Dark Side Raider. I don't know everything. I don't love everything the new regime does, but players and coaches go and we stay regardless. Yes, but can we be upset? I believe we can, dude. I believe we can, man. And talk our therapy. Thank you. Carr going to look good in the weak division? I believe so as well. So that's what I meant about the Jimmy G versus Derek Carr, or Raiders versus Derek Carr. It's going to be a forever thing. All right. Let's get into some more tweets that triggered me, but I have this picture here because I made a video on my career channel where I spoke about a story of how I was officially trying to be recruited to the Illuminati, the Hollywood Illuminati. That's right. I tell a story of the time of where I believe I was being recruited to the Hollywood Illuminati. And you can find out if I joined them or I didn't in that story on my acting channel. Just look up Hey Bauer on YouTube. I'll write it here. It's for members only today. It'll be available. What's tonight? Tonight's Wednesday. It'll be available Friday to the public if you're not a member. But there's my channel on YouTube. It's called Hey Bauer. If you want to watch that story time video, I'd appreciate your subscription. Search Hey Bauer on YouTube. If somebody wants to post the link, that'd be great. It's youtube.com/HeyBauer, HeyBower, where I tell that story. Now, this is a video that I want to watch. I haven't had the time to, that I want to. It's called, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. The Las Vegas Raiders are stuck in an endless rebuild. That's how I feel. And I can't wait to watch this video by All Pro Sports Talk. But yeah, that's how I feel. And look how he put Josh McDaniels. I believe that's a Patriots outfit, or it could be a Broncos outfit. And they put Devontae Adams from the Pro Bowl and then Jimmy G in a Raiders outfit. That's really weird. Why not all Raiders? I guess they wanted the different colors, for the YouTube thumbnail, but it's pretty interesting. And I hope, and I ask all of you, please watch the video I made where I talked about bad business for the Raidernation. We go into the Josh Jacobs situation more than we did tonight. And in my opinion, I exposed really bad business decisions from Josh McDaniels all around. That's from my take from it. And I hope you guys watch that video on my channel. Now, let's quickly look at the projected line. I'm probably going to have to zoom in every time. This is Paul Gutierrez projected starting lineup through 7 training camp practices. We might have had 11 or 12 now, but he expects the starters to be Colton Miller, who's on his final year of his deal. Show us, Mikey, on this doll how they tried to recruit you. That's funny, dude. You are funny, dude. Man, become a member, bro. I'm not saying that, because I want your $2 or $1.50, which I do, but become a member, dude. You're awesome, bro. Here's the lineup. Apparently, according to Paul Gutierrez, through a couple of camps ago. Colton Miller on his last year of his contract. Dylan Parham. And let's just quickly talk about from the news that I've heard in camp. I've heard Colton Miller looks fantastic, like Colton Miller. Dylan Parham, I heard he looks excellent, struggles at times. I heard Andre James looks excellent. I've heard Alex Bars looks excellent. Then I've heard it's a camp competition between Thayer Mumford and Jermaine Illuminor. And that's 50-50. And Michael Mayer, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and then Hunter, excuse me. According to this report, Hunter Renfro's in the slot. I've also heard good things from the media about Trey Tucker and the other wide receivers. I think they're giving good feedback to everybody. Aiden O'Connell, Garoppolo, everybody, even Zamir White, because they got to build positivity somehow through all of this negative stuff that we're being presented with. But that's the projected starting lineup from what did he say? Wow, was I just censored? That comment, Illuminati went white. I don't know. I don't know what comment. Panday. Let me see if it's gone. Oh my God, you might be right. Is that comment there? I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? You're freaking me out, dude. Show us, Mike. Oh no, show us, Mike. Here it is. Where they recruit you. Okay, it's there. It's there. It's there. Oh no, that was Michael F talking about it. I don't see a comment from you, Michael F, about the Illuminati. I don't know. Sorry, bro. All right, so that starting lineup looks good, but it should be replaced with Josh Jacobs. And in my opinion, I didn't like what I saw from Jermaine Illuminor last year. He struggled, and they still gave him a contract. I would like Thayer Mumford to be a bigger role moving forward, but I'm still rooting on everybody. And I'm worried for the left tackle position, as we have been at the right tackle position for many years. I'm worried now at the left tackle position for next year. I wish that they would give, if they wanted him to be a Raider again next year, if he had a good year last year, they would give Colton Miller a contract because he's in his final year, but he's going to be a free agent, and they're not going to give him another contract because the new Raider way is not to pay players. So Colton Miller will not be a Raider next year. So use him while you got him. Smoke him while you got him, boys. All right. So here's a comment that triggered me, and it's from Raiders Ben. I've known Ben a long time. We've done shows together in the past, but I believe that he was a drinker, maybe a drugger or whatever, and I just didn't want to associate with those type of people in my life, due to my brother's issues and whatnot. And I felt he was a little bit aggressive. So with people like that, I kind of censor myself and I move away, and I dissect myself from people that I don't understand, or I feel are aggressive or drink and drug or whatever they do. I just don't want to be around that stuff. But I love Raider Ben. I know he's a good dude. I know he's a great dude at heart. And he's just had a lot of negativity as well in his life. And I know he's on the mend and I know he's on the comeback. But on the negative space that is Twitter or X, he spoke out about some content creators and he said some personal insults. And that's not the way. I've done it before. I know I have. I am to blame. So he's calling some of the people that I don't associate with trash Raiders. Um, and I don't agree with everybody you listed. I do agree with a few, but I wouldn't call them trash. I just don't F with them. I don't feel a kinship or I don't feel something with them. I don't want a relationship with them. Um, that's not the case with Sanjit. I know Sanjit's a great dude, whether I believe his takes or his opinions or that he's a real football guru. I do not, but he's a great dude. I love him and his family and his wife. And we don't hang out or talk as much as we used to. Mitchell Renz, you all know how I feel about him. Graphic Raider, I'm in fantasy football with him. I talk to him here and there. Just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. I do not know Pod Wasted unless I see it by name, but I'm not really knowing of Pod Wasted. But I love Watch Raider. I love Watch Raider. He's down for everything, and we seem to be on the same level. And I just wanted to speak out goodness about Watch Raider, and I wanted to tell you, Raider Ben, I'm gonna give you a second chance if you hit me up on YouTube or Twitter. Want to be a part of a show? Please give Watch Raider another chance, and or Sanjay, and look at the human being, not their YouTube videos or whatever negativity that might be presented on Twitter or X. That's all I wanted to say. But I feel you, Raider Ben. I love you, and I'm hoping for a brighter future for us all. And again, I don't need to post that all the negativity that Raider Ben was bringing out, even against Kenny King, who said bringing down others. And these are wise words, Kenny. These are wide words. Let me see if I could zoom in on that a little bit more. Bringing down others, and I do it. I do it, Kenny. I do it too. I apologize. Bringing down others doesn't help build you up. Instead of hating, you should be collaborative and respectful. Utilize what some people do and build your strength. Thank you for those words, Kenny King. Thank you, thank you, thank you, brother. And again, we don't need to talk about the more negative retorts. I'm trying to use this as an example, not to call out Raider Ben or anybody else. I'm using this as an example for me as well. I'm just showing it publicly, and I'm trying to tell people publicly I'm trying to do better. And Raider Ben can do better, and you all can do better. Again, if you're going to write a negative tweet, a hateful tweet, whether it be at me, at a Derek Carr fan, or a Jimmy G fan, or a Raider YouTuber, or a Raider podcaster, or a Raider media, take a step back. Take a step back. Will that tweet prove anything or make you right or make another person feel better? Ask that question, please. This world needs to change. And I want the Raider family to come together again like it did many years ago. And again, I've been in my feelings recently because while I read all this stuff from the YouTubers, I started thinking how many YouTubers have asked me to be on their podcast or promoted my new channel. You know, since I got or lost my other channel or since I got sued. How many people see my negativity and contact me and try to bring me out of my funk, my depression, my hatred, my evil ways? How many friends of mine really contact me or put me back on their podcast that are doing very well, that has thousands of subscribers, and help build me up again, help build up my faith, my fandom. How many Raiders have done that for me? Not many. And these are people that I collaborated with when I was popular and a lot of subs. And they always wanted me to get on my show and promote their channel and gain subscribers and do all that other stuff while I was at the top. Now I'm at the bottom and I'm hurt and I'm angry and I'm sad and I'm scared. And now you guys are popular, making money, positive. How many of you are coming to me trying to build me up? Again, none of you that I'm talking about will actually even watch this video because I am no longer relevant due to my negativity or whatever else I presented. But if anybody possibly sees this, promote my channel, promote me as a good human being that loves the Raiders, even though I'm upset a lot. Help me get some subscribers back. Help me find some positivity. Write me a message of love. Don't write me a message of, oh, Derek Carr sucked. Jimmy Garoppolo's better. You know, build me up, Buttercup. Don't break my heart. Build me up, Buttercup, baby, if you let me down. So I made a video a couple months ago talking about I wanted every Raider video maker to make a video called The Love for Their Nation or The Love for the Raider Nation and what it means to you. And I got about 4 or 5 video responses to my challenge. But they were from video makers that are not as big and not as prevalent as the ones that I helped. I believe I helped some of them get big. I believe I did. They did it on their own, but I helped in a small way. But I got no responses or no challenges accepted by the people that call me the OG. Nobody responded and made a video of those type of people, except maybe Nathan Gunn, the Raider Critique, Afakashi Raider, Watch Raider. I'm not going to name the other ones that did not take on that challenge. Maybe they didn't see it. And again, that's because you all have left me. And you're not building me up. You don't care about me. You only cared about me when I was successful and positive, but you don't care about me now when I'm hurting and I'm scared and I need help. That's how you find out who people really are. All right, tweets that triggered me. Let's move on. Thank you, Pandey. You matter to the real Raider fans. Captain Paint, keep up the great content. You were the first Raider content channel I started watching. Wi-Fi Willie gives you props. Yeah, I've heard he does that. I don't watch all his lives, and I heard he does that. But man, I would love a video link in one of his videos, or him to present something that I said in one of his other stream or in his streams or something like that, you know, where he could bring people to my channel. I would love that. That'd be pretty awesome. But I'm sure he does it. Thank you, Chakov. Hey, Pandey, good night. Good night, Pandey Kolima. Love you, brother. Michael F., good night, brother. Time to crash. And you guys can watch tomorrow if you want for the 49ers preview. I'm going to get to that in a couple of seconds. I'm not going to talk as much right now moving forward, I promise. I shouldn't make promises I can't keep. But here's real quickly some more tweets that triggered me. Then we'll move on to the final subject of the night. McDaniels and Zeke added Adams to an overachieving team that probably shouldn't have made the playoffs if not for a wild stroke of luck. I don't like Josh McDaniels at all, but Gruden and Mayock did not build a playoff roster. Okay, BCZ2 Ford, whatever. Listen to this tweet. And a lot of people are saying this online. even people I love like Murph, um, and I can't think of anybody off the top of my head as well, but I heard it on Murph's show and everything that they said the Raiders overachieved in 2021. So he's saying that the Raiders had an overachieving team and they wouldn't have made the playoffs unless it was for luck. Okay. When players play in high school and get recruited into college, is that luck? And is that overachieving? Or is it skill and talent? When players go from college to the NFL and get drafted in the first round, second round, third round, or let alone get drafted at all, is that they overachieved in college and made it to the NFL? Is it luck that they got drafted into the NFL? Or is it skills and something they worked their entire life to get to that prize? So, with this philosophy that we see on screen that makes no dang sense, and even people that I love and respect said it, the Raiders overachieved. Okay. First off, they all had the skills, whether it be, again, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, whoever else was on the team that year they made the playoffs, they had the skill. They had the talent. They worked toward becoming in the NFL. They are a pro at what they do. That's not luck, and that's not them overachieving. Then we lost some games. There was turmoil, Gruden controversy, the tweets, the emails, the Henry Ruggs situation, the Damian Arnett situation. We all know how that played out. That is dumb luck. That's dumb luck that cursed our Raiders. But the Raiders bonded together under Rich Bisaccia with whatever strength they had to muster and to play to their capability, not over their capability. They played to the capability that made them an NFL player. It's not an overachievement. They played to their skill set. They played to their abilities. They were just more focused at this moment in time. Because of everything that happened, they had to focus in, dial in, and fix the broken ship. And they did that. Under the skies, or however you say it, under family, skills, love, strength, pride, they achieved excellence in those final 7 or 8 games to make the playoffs. How the F can you say they overachieved, that they were not worthy of that achievement? They did it. It happened. They came together. An overachievement is not possible. Whatever you have in you, you can achieve. So if you achieve something at that moment, it's because you had it in you. And it will never be an overachievement. You cannot overachieve. You cannot do it. If it's in you, it's in you. So 2021 Raiders did not overachieve. It was in them. They found it. They focused. They brought it out, and they won. So for Merv, everybody that says they overachieved, get that language, get that vocabulary out of your freaking mouth. No such thing as overachievement. If you can do it once, you can do it again. And it's not luck that they made the playoffs. It was them achieving their skill set and focusing their skills and their talents to go to the playoffs. That's all I'm going to say about that. Much love and respect. What's up, Kill Jadis? Much love and respect, Mikey. It's Kill Jadis, grumpy Raider fan. I'm not excited. I don't think I'll ever be excited again. The Raiders need to prove me wrong by winning. Keep it up, brother. Yeah, man. And weren't you on Murph's stream earlier? I think they heard you announce you or an email earlier. So thank you for tuning in and supporting every Raider video maker. And I believe this was as of today. Tashawn Reed. Oh no, 8-4. Tyree Wilson wasn't on the practice field. And here's an interesting picture. Here's an interesting picture, guys. Raider Cody. Again, a lot of people like him. A lot of people hate him. Just like whatever. I don't care anymore. But I don't know if this is real. Apparently, he had a sign for his podcast at the Sahara. Not that it triggered me, so I should take that off screen. But wow, look at that. Vegas home game watch party. Black Sunday Casbar, Raider Cody live at the Casbar at the home games with his podcast. He got a public announcement on the marquee. Wow, what an amazing accomplishment. That's amazing. Again, Cody is associated with the Derek Carr family. I hope you guys know that. I believe his name is Cody Carr. I think he's a member of the wife's family in some aspect. I do not know officially. It doesn't matter. He has a podcast. He doesn't do it every week, but he does a good job. He's got money behind him. That Black Sunday brand, they're sponsoring him as well. And I just get mad because all these sponsors that were supposedly for the Raiders when I was popular, they were not even hitting me up, to sponsor anything Raiders, man. Literally, they weren't. So that means they just, no matter what, they didn't like me from the onset. And I met all of them at many occasions, many events, but it's all good. So am I jealous? Yeah, whatever, but it's all good. I love Cody. I think he's doing a good thing. And what an accomplishment, man. If that's real, I think it is. That's pretty freaking awesome, Cody. Pretty freaking awesome. All right, now this is something stupid from Will Wheaton. He posted a video on his Instagram, a reel, where he speaks through a mask at a convention, and he says, hi, guys. I have to wear a mask when I'm taking pictures and meeting all you Star Trek and fans of mine. I have to wear a mask and everything. Even nowadays, 3 years later, I still have to wear a mask for safety. While I take pictures and all that other stuff. He goes, but my wife came up with a different mask for me to wear when you guys take pictures of me. And here's that mask with the bottom of his face. Then he laughs. Okay, let's think about that. People pay a lot of money to meet and greet you, to take a picture with you. They pay a lot of money to go to the conventions, to see you, to meet you, to take a photo with you, maybe $100 or whatever it is. And you're going to wear a mask when it's not necessary. And then you're going to take pictures with a printed photo of the bottom of your face to the fans that paid a lot of money to take your photo. And then you laugh about it. But yet, you say it's because there's a lot of people. You have to meet and greet them and talk to them. But you're in a secluded area. I've been to the shows. You get a secluded tent most of the time where 1 or 2 people walk in, take a photo with you, and leave. So you're not surrounded by 30 people at once. And you could have taken a COVID test before and not wear a mask to respect your fans. But no, they pay, I don't know the price, but they pay like $60, $50, $100, whatever it is, to take a photo of you in a mask hiding behind another printed photo. And you laugh about it. How is that respecting anybody? Well, you're respecting yourself because you're afraid. You're afraid of the big bad COVID. You're afraid of the big bad COVID. But on top of that, after you post, before you posted this, and after you posted it, you appear on podcast with like 5 people without a mask in public on a podcast with an audience without a mask. You're hilarious. Moving along. All right, here's another tweet that triggered me, and we don't need to get into it. You guys can read it on my Twitter. This guy, Sniper Jones, he's a good dude, but he wrote Raidernation. Then he wrote in big letters, to all real Raider fans. To all real Raider fans. So you're calling us, some of us not real Raider fans. Are you excited to see the makeup of this team? No, I'm not. So I responded, so if we're not excited at the truth of this year's team, we're not a real Raider fan? What the F is this division you're showing, man? If you blindly drink the media and the team reports Kool-Aid, you're a sheep. I go, in my opinion, they keep cutting you, and you let them, meaning the Raiders or the Shield or the team. They keep cutting you, and you let them. Then you're excited for the new knife. You get it? This year's a new knife that they could possibly cut us with. And he's excited for it. Hey, y'all excited? Hey, real Raider fans. Again, this is ridiculous. Then, of course, Lucille, wild Raider fan. I like her. She's OG. She's awesome. She wears a wig. I've had her on a podcast. She's outspoken as any. You know, and we got into a back and forth on Twitter. You know, whatever. She was yelling at me, calling me miserable. I'm a sad Raider fan. I'm a this, I'm a that, you know. Not giving me any positivity or love or respect or trying to make me feel better. She just, how dare you call him out? And, how you're miserable. Go to sleep, you little baby. Lucille bringing the negative. They blame us for the negative, but yet they bring it worse than we bring it to them. But then in a post the next day, she wanted to affirm that it's okay to everybody that's a Jimmy G fan or an optimistic fan. She's letting them know she's a therapy person and she knows all, and she has to let them know, hey, Raidernation, listen up. It's okay to be optimistic about this season. You're not a Kool-Aid drinker. Hey, is that response to what I wrote when I said, you're drinking the Kool-Aid? It might not be a direct response. I said, if you blindly drink their Kool-Aid, you're a sheep. She doesn't have the balls to call me out, but, she doesn't put at Mikey Raider, but she puts, it's okay to be optimistic about the season. You're not a Kool-Aid drinker like Mikey Raider said. It's okay to wait and see what happens. You're not a fake fan. I never called nobody a fake fan. If you're calling me out in this statement, I never called nobody a fake fan for their opinions. But maybe it's not only me. As you keep saying, it's not only about you, Mikey Raider. Not everything's about you, Mikey Raider. Clearly, that is when you say the exact comments that I write. But it's okay to be okay with the current quarterback. That doesn't make you a stan. Huh? Ain't nobody calling anybody a Jimmy G stan. I have not heard that retorted in Raider Nation. I haven't heard it for the life of me. So that a stan is supposedly an insult. So you're telling the Jimmy G fans it's okay to be okay with your current quarterback, Jimmy G. That doesn't make you a stan. Okay. Well, is it okay to be okay with a former quarterback? Does that make me a stan? Your logic doesn't make sense. And then enjoy the season. Let them bitter folks stay over there. Okay. I like the statement. It's trying to attempt a positive statement to let fans of Jimmy G know, to let fans of Josh McDaniels, of the Raiders, of the excitement. It's a stance to try to get them and let them know it's okay to be positive. Okay, fine. Insults or behind the scene text or subtle text that if I read behind that, I like your message. I like your message. We all know it was triggered toward some of us, including me. But that's okay. It's a positive message when you get behind the subtle insults in the text. It's a positive message letting everybody know do what you want to do. But in a retort, because I am sarcastic at times and I like to trigger them because they get triggered by me just writing my truth. Then they trigger me, then I trigger. It's a back and forth. But hey, she said it was okay to be excited for the season, to be excited for Jimmy G, and not be called a stan and blah, 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 and so forth. Well, look what I wrote back. But I wrote this in a reply. I should have added her, but I wrote it in her reply. I said, hey, it's okay to be upset. If it's okay to be excited for the organization, it's also okay to be upset at the organization. It's okay to have doubts about the coaches and the team this year. It's okay. It's okay to root for a better future for your former quarterback without being called a stan. It's okay to vent your frustration at your favorite team without being called a fake fan. Say it's okay, because Lucille is the business leader, the manager of what it's okay to be at, per her statement. So I need to know from a real Raider fan. Apparently, I'm not. I need to know if it's okay. Lucille, is it okay to be upset? I believe it is. Just like you guys are okay on your side, I'm okay on my side. It's okay. But please tell me it's okay. Yeah, that got her triggered because I showed some proof of how she's only showing one side of the statement from her perspective. Nah, this ain't about you. Go sit your miserable butt down somewhere else. It ain't about me, yet you quoted me in that statement. Duh, duh. Again, these things trigger me. That's why I got to get off of Twitter. I just got to. Then she found some other replies that I wrote about my fandom to other people. And then she kept chiming in. Go take a nap. You're the only one person dividing yourself from everybody. She went on to read every tweet that I did to everybody else. She got triggered. Go take a nap because she saw the truth in my statement. She saw it. I showed the hypocrisy, the sarcasm, whatever. Go take a nap. You're the only one person dividing yourself from everybody else. No, I'm not. You guys do the dividing for me. By when I speak about my love or my excitement, you tell me to, I'm not a real Raider. You guys are dividing. It's you guys. It ain't me. Ridiculous. I am not dividing myself from the team. I love the team. I'm pissed off at the team. I'm upset at the team. I'm upset at the coaches. I don't like what I see. I still love the fucking team. As soon as you see someone happy about the Raiders in this season, you swoop in and esh on it every time. Every time? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's not what I do. I see a tweet that doesn't make sense to me, that divides the nation, then I call it out and I quote it. Because I think people should lead their life with respect and love and empathy and don't tweet at all if you're going to put out statements like the one that we saw earlier that said, hey, in quotes, every real Raider fan, listen here, only real Raider fans. Go hoo Betty with some Saints fan if you're that upset. Oh God, now she calls me an OG Raider. She's been on my podcast. She knows my heart. Now she's calling me and telling me, just like the other ones, if you like Derek Carr so much, which it ain't all only about Derek Carr, it's hating on the regime, not only because of Derek Carr, because of the decisions they're making in other areas, Josh Jacobs, whatever, to come to mind. You know, the getting rid of Darren Waller, blah, blah, all these situations, not only Derek Carr. But now she's telling me to become a Saints fan. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, we're the real Raider fans. These are the ones dividing us, telling us they're not accepting our fandom. They're not accepting us in our negativity or whatever. And again, write something positive. Hey, Mikey, man, I hope you cheer up. I really think this team will look good. And and I think you might be wrong, about Jimmy G or Josh McDaniels or whoever. You might be wrong, Mikey Raider. If you need anything, I'm here for you. If you need a shoulder, let me know. Write stuff like that. If you're a quality human being, if you're a Raider. But now you're telling me to become a Saints fan. That's their go-to. That's their go-to. It's ridiculous. These are evil people. And I know in person, I would hope in person, if I saw them at a barbecue, they would give me some food. They'd give me a beer. They'd take a picture with me, shake my hand, say hello. Because that's what real Raider Nation does. But when you guys, and I do it too, I'm to blame as well. But when we hide behind a keyboard and talk nonsense to people, you're not going to become a better human being in life. So recognize, Lucille, recognize, okay? When somebody's calling out in pain and needs help, hopefully you can recognize it next time and lead them to the help they want. Dividing with your comments. They wrote, so what, we can't look forward to the season because you're heartbroken? I'm not saying you guys can fan how you want. Like Murph says, fan how you want. I don't care. No judgment here. But when you write statements dividing the nation, I'm going to quote on it. So what, we can't look forward to the season because you're still heartbroken over Derek Carr? Whatever. It ain't always about Derek Carr. You're always going to bring that up now. Huh? Where did I bring up Derek Carr? I find it in my post. I don't think I did. Maybe before I did, not in that one. Everybody says move on, and we did. But not you, obviously. You didn't move on either. You're triggered. Admit it. She can't admit it. They cannot admit failure. They can't do it. They think they're right. They can't admit failure. I've admitted failure a ton of times. I even admitted when I'm wrong here. And I admit when I make major mistakes. And I'll take accountability and apologize. I will. They won't. They won't. And then I wrote, triggered much? Again, if you're going to say it's okay to be excited for the team and new quarterback, is it not okay to be the opposite? Because when I speak frustrations about the team, I get the fake fan and stan comments when they should know my heart. Now you say I should be a saint. Continue the divide. Mikey, you're the literal definition of triggered. Okay, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but you are too. Don't confuse triggered and fed up when people keep telling you about yourself. But now I see why everyone muted you or said they muted you. It's again because they don't want to see the truth, because the truth of the Raiders is negative. It is. The fandom. They're just sheep. They're blindly excited and they don't want to see the truth. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing to be a sheep, to not see the things the way they really are. Sometimes it's good. And I envy you. I envy you that are able to put the truth behind you and just be excited every year, every time for every player. I envy you. Then she writes, I wish the old rational Mikey would come back and engage with everyone like before. Did I give a response to that? No. I think I did online, but and then on the bottom she wrote, like I said before, go find peace. I'm trying to find peace. Show it to me. Show me the peace without your insults. Show me your peace. Ignorance is bliss. That's right, Renee. I just saw that. That's right, Renee. And I'm still the same Mikey Raider as I was before, but I'm more jaded nowadays. I'm more jaded. So, and I see the truth more, and I see evil when I see it. And in another little bit of a tweet that triggered me, but I love him. His name is Raider Post. He posted this tweet with a picture, and of course it's photoshopped. It says, the Raiders, your dark horse team for the season's number one offense. Sorry. Who is your dark horse team for the season's number one offense? Then he posted the Raiders. But this is from a picture from a couple years ago on Good Morning Football. And he didn't say the Raiders. It's a Photoshop. But in all honesty, that's why I'm mad. Because even in my fandom and loving the Raiders, I don't even see them being a dark horse for the number one offense. Maybe a number 10 offense, but not a number one. My dark horse, and again, people are going to get mad at me if I say the truth, but just from looking at it, the dark horse would be the opposite team that our former quarterback is playing for. How can you say the Raiders? I didn't look at all the options. I did not do that, so forgive me. But I would say the opposite team, meaning the Saints, if you're asking me a simple question, they would be my dark horse. But am I rooting for the Raiders to be the number one offense? You're damn right I am. I hope we have a Super Bowl. We go to the Super Bowl against the Saints. Maybe they have the number one defense. Is that possible? The Saints can play the Raiders? I don't know. AFC, NFC, I don't know. But I would love a Super Bowl like that. That'd be like a conspiracy theory in itself, where we go to the Super Bowl with the number one offense, with a new quarterback, a new coach, versus Gruden, versus our former player, and the number one defense. That'll be a 2001 Super Bowl conspiracy theory that came back together 20-something years later in Vegas. Heck yeah, I want that to happen. You know it. You know I do. You know I do. But I can't get on board with the Raiders being the number one offense in a dark horse. I can't see it. If it happens, it's scripted. If it happens, that is luck, in my opinion. No, not that it's luck, that it's scripted. All right, there's a good, cool little picture of the team. I don't like that they don't have Jimmy G in a jersey. Maybe they don't have him in a jersey because he might be injured and might not play. So I'm just calling out some interesting stuff from the photo. But they got Hunter Renfrow. They got Josh Jacobs there, assuming he'll play this year. And, of course, they got Jimmy G as the leader. Max Crosby a step behind him. Chandler Jones. I can't name everybody. There's Devontae in the back. You would think that Devontae Adams would be in the forefront. Let's be honest. You want to get all the star players and all that, but maybe he's not buying in. Maybe Davante Adams is not buying in. Even though publicly he's also saying some things that, I don't know, disgruntled a little bit. But that's why he's in the back. He's just, going to bide his time in the back, get his money, and hope for a winning season. Just interesting photograph to look at and why they made those decisions. All right, y'all, let's get into some of your comments, and then let's do the Raiders versus 49ers preseason game prediction and storylines from my perspective. And I want to hear your guys' comments below. I will be watching a lot of, again, I'm trying to read all the comments. A lot of these positive Raider fans can't take others' opinions. They'd rather be homers. Logic. I believe I have good logic, all eyes. Renee, hello, Ostrich Eggs. That's Diablo, Adams, Jacobs, Jimmy G, Max. Thank you, guys. I just wanted to look at some of your former comments. Okay, we read these a little bit earlier. Late Night Wiggly Sticks. What's up, brother? I don't know how anyone can be optimistic about this season. I like, LOL, I like what is this tweet. Okay, maybe I showed one of my tweets on there. Appreciate that. All right. Guys, hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Again, if you got any funds you could donate, super chat, I'd appreciate it. Become a member. It helps me out. I did a 3-hour live stream. And in truth, this video will be censored. And if I can make any money off of YouTube, I'll make like $1 or $2 off of this video. It'll probably only be seen by 500 people if it's not censored. If it is censored, it still might only be seen by 400 or 500 people. And I basically made like $3 for 3 hours. But that's okay. So consider donating, becoming a member, helping your boy out. I appreciate you. Okay, let's do this. We got the Raiders versus 49ers in week 1. There's not a lot of major storylines going into this game because none are expected. We know that Tyree Wilson is not going to play. But in retrospect, we know Joshua Jacobs is not going to play. He's not on the field. But in retrospect to what happened with Josh McDaniels last year and how the major stars, he never played any of them, like Davante Adams, Derek Carr, anytime during the preseason. The storyline going into this week for me is, not only how will Jimmy G look or whatever. Again, it's will he play? Will Josh McDaniels put in any of his starters in this week 1, let alone in week 2 or 3 of the preseason? Last year, he didn't do that for the most part, except for Josh Jacobs. Will he do that with an injured Jimmy G to get a look at him? I do not know. That's my preseason storyline and camp question. Let me know your thoughts below or in the chat room. Will he play any of his starters this year? Will he play Jimmy G or Davante, or who he won't play? Will he won't play Jimmy G? He won't play Davante Adams, or they're all going to play? But now we're talking about week 1 versus the 49ers. This should be a revenge game, albeit preseason, for the Raiders versus 49ers with Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G will play. I don't think he'll play at all in this game. And that's okay. But you are not with the divided Raider fan base. You are not a good coach if you throw Jimmy G after giving him days off in camp, throw him into the fire in week 1 in this preseason game. And if he looks bad, it's just going to reiterate the fact of him having interceptions or days off or whatever the storylines are. So I don't see Josh McDaniels playing Jimmy Garoppolo at all in this game, especially with the excuse, but it's not an excuse, but it is an excuse of the injury concerns. We have to treat Jimmy Garoppolo as the most fragile quarterback in the league because that's what he is. That's the storyline for me. Then, if he doesn't play Jimmy G, will he play Devontae Adams with Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell or Chase Garbers or whoever? If you're going to have concerns for Jimmy Garoppolo, you should also have not injury concerns, but you should not play Devontae Adams. Give all the younger players time on the field, all the Aiden O'Connells, all the Brian Hoyers, and everybody else to get a look at them. That's what you should do. But if you play Jimmy G, then you have to play them all. Whatever stars you consider stars, you have to play them all, at least for one series or two, or however it's going to be. And a reminder, we don't have 4 preseason games anymore. We only got 3. So if you take the ball out of Jimmy G's hands and Devontae's hands and don't let them play together in this game, maybe not the entire preseason, but if you take the ball out of their hands, expect a rough start to the season because they're not getting on the field gameplay like Derek Carr needed last year as well under your system. Did you sabotage Derek Carr by not playing him? Again, you play to win the game. And if Jimmy G gives you the best opportunity of winning, you play Jimmy G. Even though it's preseason and it really don't matter, it still kind of does. But that's not my decision to make. I don't care what decision you do make, but I am going to critique it. Will Jimmy G play this entire preseason? Who on and so forth? I do not know. Now, I'm looking forward to Aiden O'Connell. I really, really, really am going to give it my full force to root for some good looks from a young quarterback. Maybe he can make a name for himself, even though he's possibly at the 3rd position. Maybe he can make a name for himself like Derek Carr did in his season in the preseason. Maybe Aiden O'Connell can come in there and do some good quality plays and have everybody going, looks pretty decent, like the guy for Cleveland did the other day. I forgot his name, out of UCLA. Something Robinson looked really, really good. And he was the 3rd string quarterback. I really hope for that for Aiden O'Connell. I would love to see it. So in summary, I wish I could take a look at Tyree Wilson. I can't. I don't know if we're going to get a look at Max Crosby. They shouldn't play him. Should they play Chandler Jones? I don't know. I think they should, but I don't know. Again, this is going to be the one game for most of the young players, in my perspective, to get a look at before they have to start making some big cuts. And we're going to talk about who's going to get cut in future episodes as I move on to more, hopefully, positive times. But I'm looking forward to seeing Jakobi Meyers. I'd like to see him out there. I'd like to see. And again, if you're going to sit Devontae Adams, you think he's going to sit Jakobi Meyers? The number one quarterback that he gave a $11-12 million deal to from the Patriots, when he won't even give a proven Raider like Josh Jacobs a $12 million deal? Whether he did or didn't, that's another debate. I don't know. But I want to see that young, supposedly speedy wide receiver. I forgot his name, Trey Tucker. And I want to see the other receivers drafted. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Zamir White pick up the game plan, pick up some blitzes. I don't want to see the former Patriots, Amir Abdullah and all these other people. I don't want to see it. I want to see all the young running backs, man, from last year's draft. I want to see them. I want to see them learn, get bigger and better, and do something positive. And the defensive back, Jacorian Bennett, I'm hoping he plays. And shows us some things, and I'm starting to try to get excited for this game, guys. Again, overall, I don't like the system. I don't like the coaches. I'm not that excited, but I'm always going to find something to do and watch and to hope for beyond all my pain. So I'm going to be watching this game live on stream. If you guys want to join the channel, it will be live. If I can afford to pay my NFL Network or get the live stream on NFL Network somehow, um, I'll have to figure that out in the coming days. But I will be going live if I get it on TV, watching it with you guys, and hoping for a victory and hoping for some improvement and hoping Josh McDaniels will make some good decisions in the second half and not get away from his game plan. Long story short, not available, talking smack.